All right, guys, who wants to talk about Mustangs? I realize I didn't schedule a live chat, but hey, just going to throw it up anyway. I had a live chat the other day and I posted early in the day and didn't get a whole lot of people. Uh, Thanks to all those that did come out chat. Um, but yeah, hoping to get a few more people on tonight. But yeah, let's talk Mustangs. So I was out in the cold today, playing around with Mustangs a little bit. I got to say, the cold takes a lot of the motivation right out of me. Um, so, anybody out there, I'm curious to see where you think the Mustang stuff is going. If there's any new trends that are coming along. Um, Actually, one question I'd like to know is for anybody out there, what's your favorite set of wheels on a Fox body? For me, um, I'm very indecisive when it comes to wheels. And because of that, I'm much like the wife. I like to have many. She has many pairs of shoes. Well, I have many BBS arcade. Me too. Horseplay motoring. Me too. Um, yeah, just like she's got many sets of shoes, I've got many sets of wheels. So current wheels that I'm hoarding are BBS RKs, ROHZS, Mavermont 17-inch ponies, um, set of race stars, pro stars, and that's actually why I converted the whole fleet to five lugs so I could just interchange between all of them. Oh, Horseplay Motoring says, and Salines. I do love Salines. Never had a set. Love to have a set. Tim Webb. Hey, Tim. Race stars. Yeah, I love the race stars. I know. Is it uh, is it Alejandro Flores calls them poverty stars? Um, I'll tell you, they were pretty expensive for me to buy here up in Canada. So they may be poverty stars to some people, but they're pretty pricey for me, and I like the look of them. Um, I wish that Weld made a Pro Star with a 17-inch front runner. I absolutely love Pro Stars. I love how light they are. I know the race stars aren't quite as light as Pro Stars, but yeah, no, I love wheels. Horseplay motoring. I'm on welds and like the old school look, but don't want to cruise every day on bigs and littles anymore. Yeah, I actually mentioned that in my last live stream how much I love the look, just like you're saying, that old school look of drag lights, um, drag lights and Pro Stars. Uh, if you can get that 15 by 10 tucked underneath of a Fox body, man, it looks tough. I guess you could go to maybe a 15 by 7 or 15 by 8 on the front. Um, so is that what you're thinking, horseplay? Maybe a set of Saliens on there? That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. Another wheel I'd like to have would be like the CCW, like the Forge Star, or are they Forge Stars? Forge Line? I'm getting confused here. I know I like the CCWs a lot though. But another big dollar wheel. So yeah, no. Um, so got a couple people online here. What do you guys think of the Dutch kit? Have you guys seen the Dutch kits on Stangs by chance? Um, I'm curious about that. Deep. Oh, you want to go deep dish saliens or something along those lines? Yeah, yeah. Deep dish saline would be cool. Yeah, there used to be a coupe back in the corral days, and it was a black coupe with saliens on it. Man, I just love the look of it. That picture floated around forever because that car looked so awesome. So if I had my way, I would buy many more sets of wheels. But I find it hard to keep rubber on all these sets of wheels. Because I've had a lot of stuff that sits, it's starting to crack and needs replaced. So that's why when I actually get out there and drive these things, I tend to burn the rubber off a little bit because I figure better to wear it out than have it crack, right? So Yeah, deep dish sailing. I'd love to find a set of those too. That's quite the countertop you have back there. Oh, thanks, Tim. It's actually it's not granite or anything. It's just the standard countertop we had done at I believe it was Rona. Jackie and I measured it up ourselves and put it in. So, but yeah, yeah, I think I'm suffering from fox body fatigue a little bit. Probably just that time of year here in Canada. It's getting dark pretty early, as you can see in the background. It's cold out. Had just about enough of it. Um, so I was out messing around with the Silver Bullet today, and it's in the shed out back. There's no heat. There's a little bit of electricity, but I don't have lights. And after a bit of that, it was time to come back in. So I actually made a video today. I hope to have it up in the next day or two. Actually kind of like this video. It actually dawned on me. Tim and I were talking in the live chat the other day, and I brought up how much I like Neo's channel and how he's been beaten on that TKX, and the TKX has been a good tranny for him. And I happened to be rambling on just as I am now, and realized that what a great way, a YouTuber's out there really testing something out. And so when we go spend our hard-earned money, we kind of know what we're getting. So I'm doing a little review on something minor, but something that I believe in, something I really love, and it's a company I'm not affiliated in any way with. So take that for what it's worth, but I'm kind of excited about it. So yeah. What else Mustang wise we want to talk about? Yeah. Did you guys happen to what do you guys think of the Dutch kit? Just curious about what you guys think of it, good or bad. Just curious. I know in Canada it was quite popular, and in the US it seems some people don't like the body kit. But yeah, growing up with it, it was all the rage here, and it was pretty cool. So Tim, were you telling me that the TFS box was discontinued? I think it was you. Yeah, I was looking at it, and yeah, not available anymore. So I was talking to my friend. I happen to have one. He's got one, so I'm not going to sell mine off anytime soon. Yeah, I don't know what else, what other good intake would be for upwards of 1,000 horsepower or revving really high. It will fit under a 2.5-inch cowl hood or something like that. But maybe a Victor Junior EFI will with a short elbow like a Holly. Laugh out loud. Maybe worth it to sell it right now at the height of the market. Maybe, but I'd be scared not to get another one. Right now, it's a major part of my combo. Looking forward to see what it does, actually, because I had a TFS R long runner on there before, so I'm curious to see what the short runner does. So yeah, Tim, you mentioned the other day about trying a different time, get some more people on. So I figured I'd throw it up now. My analytics seem to say subscribers are on from about 6 o'clock on. So giving it a try. I guess I could have put the word out, but I figured, hey, we'll just throw it up and do a surprise thing. Yeah, so my turbo car runs out of steam near 5,400 with the cam and intake. Wish I bought the new one when I had the chance. So your turbo car, Tim, 5,400. You've got the tubular on there, right? With a lightning lower. Is that right on that combo, or was that going to be the next combo? Yeah, from what I've seen on the tubular, the Explorer, and the Cobra, and you guys may know this as well, they seem to peak at about 5,400. And while I love the look of the tubular, I know a guy who switched to it wasn't even a tubular. Sorry, he switched from a track heat to a Systemax, naturally aspirated P heads, X cam, and he picked up what was it? At least 9 rear wheel horsepower. He made like 309 rear wheel horsepower, naturally aspirated. So I'm thinking, a track heat will definitely make more power in the upper RPM range than a tubular. The look and the rarity is the only thing working for. Yeah, I mean, the look, the rarity, it's light. I'll give it that. It's probably the lightest upper intake out there. Um, I am partial to it because of the look. I'm a sucker for looks, I guess. So I know I picked up some horsepower by cutting the bolt boss off and enlarging the throat. I picked up horsepower and torque. Most of it was in the mid range, but it was actually a good chunk for mid range horsepower and torque. And yeah, she seems to top out 53, 5400. And I know I could make some more power on the Silver Bullet. I don't know if we've discussed this. My goal for the Silver Bullet is 300 rear wheel horsepower. The car was sitting at 272 with a bad motor in it. As soon as I switched motors to the good engine, you could feel it was a night and day difference. I did put a better ported lower on than what was on it, so I'm hoping to pick a few horsepower up there, but 300 is the goal. And yeah, plans for that car. I need to replace the door handles on the Silver Bullet after breaking them down in Florida. I was getting worried we wouldn't be able to get into the car after getting out of it, but we made it home. So yeah, the Systemax. Actually, I collect intake manifolds too, as well as wheels. So got a tubular here, TFS box, and I've got a bunch of Explorer stuff. Something I'd really like to have though is a Systemax. The right deal never seems to come up on the Systemax intakes for me, but that was the same way with the tubular, and finally I ran into one. So hopefully a Systemax one of these days. Yeah, so we got a few people online here. Anybody got any topics they want to talk about? Anybody got any products they'd like to see tested out? If I have them on one of the cars, your buddy Neo sells a lot of parts for big money. Too many people are playing greedy. I actually haven't seen what he sold. Um, yeah, parts prices I find. Oh, I don't know about your neck of the woods, Tim. Up here, parts prices are crazy. I haven't seen anything I would consider a deal in a long time. Everything's up in money. I've sold a lot of things, and I've never got the kind of money they're getting for stuff today. I mean, when a B cam is $300 used, it's wow. Like I used to pay 50, 60 bucks for those cams. You know, yeah, no, it's interesting, that's for sure. But wish you were secretly collecting black interiors. Well, I was for a long time. I used to have an attic full of it. I'm slowly putting them into cars. I would never sell. I collected black interior stuff. I don't know, probably 15 years, maybe 20. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and look at it. And the only thing I ever sold off was a set of hatchback rear plastics because I had a bunch of it and I didn't have any hatchbacks. Other than that, I collected it. Wow, snowmobile going down the road. Cool. So yeah, it's slowly been going into cars. I don't have as much left as I would like. It's one of the things I fear running out of. Um, so, but I probably, unless something changes money wise, I'm probably at my limit car wise. So there is that too. So yeah. Nobody got any topics? Anybody? All right. So what other plans do we have for this year? So we hope to get the beast to the track. Love to tell you it's going to run an 8, but I don't believe it'll be so. It's going to take a lot of suspension tuning to get it there. Jackie's T-top coupe. We hope to have that finished and out of the garage, but I can't say it'll be on the road just because of insurance with all the vehicles. We'll have to see. Whoa. Vicious Golden alert. So yeah, and then the Silver Bullet puts miles on it. Try and get Dylan's car together. Cooper, sit. She drives her car. Yep. Yeah. So like she's never driven the T-top coupe because we've never had it done on the road yet. Cooper. Buddy, you're a good boy. Sit down. Sorry about that, guys. But she's got a 2005 S197 black on black, and she drives that. She drives it to work and whatnot. And our dailies are kind of old. I guess our fun cars are old too. Whoa, buddy. Stop smiling. Well, keep smiling, but get down. But her Mustang, the air works really good in, so she'll drive that on really hot days in the summer to work. And we used to take that places too until I got the Silver Bullet really reliable, and now we're driving it more than ever. So, and the AC's working in it thanks to some help from a friend of mine. So yeah. Yeah, I actually need to get some more video of her driving her car, doing burnouts and stuff with it. So we got one video of her getting into the car and doing a burnout. It was kind of neat, but I was scared to show the license plate, even though I'm sure everybody knows what the license plate is if they look at any of the videos. So yeah, I tell you guys, I kind of missed the forum days. I feel like we're losing a wealth of information from the forum days. I know I found a ton of information when I was working on stuff on the corral, like when it came to motor building and stuff like that. Some of the big name guys that are building motors were on there, and if you Google the right stuff, they would let you in on a lot of the stuff they did, and it was really helpful. Really helpful when you were trying to figure something out maybe you hadn't been into before, like maybe a timing chain with a Torrington bearing, or setting up rockers for the first time. There's a lot of, I guess there's still a lot of really helpful information on there. I hope that those resources don't go away now that traffic doesn't seem to be what it was. But I tried going on the Corral, Mustang forums, Yellow Bullet. There isn't much info anymore. Sadly, LS1 Tech is going better. Really, eh? LS1 Tech is still thriving. Huh. I was on the Corral and I've looked up a few things that I remember, and I was able to find them. The Bullet, I was looking at suspension tuning the other day, and also I was trying to figure out what size of fuel cell I might like to put in Swamp Thing, and I found some information there. Our local Chicagoland Mustang forums was active for over a decade, and then they gave up a while ago. Yeah, that's too bad. But I guess I'm guilty of not going on the forums as much as I used to myself. I don't know if that was a Facebook thing or what. I mean, yeah, I guess more than ever, I'll get on Facebook and scroll through it to see what's for sale, and then there's a lot of the clubs on there. Instagram, not Instagram a bit, but yeah, I don't know what's changed. But yeah, there's a wealth of information there. The joy of posting a question for those smarter than me and seeing replies to try out what was good. Yeah, or getting some guy on there that isn't really helpful and makes you feel about that big. But that happens on all different platforms. I don't have any social media. I don't trust it. Yeah, I don't blame you. There's a lot of stuff getting hacked today, right? Pages are getting hacked. Pages are getting hacked. Instagram's getting hacked. My uncle was just hacked, as a matter of fact, the other day. Sent out a message not to accept any friend requests. That's the definition of Ed Curtis on the Corral. Tweets, questions, and people bad. Yeah, I know I posted some things up. Ed wasn't really keen on some of the stuff I was working on. I think Ed even commented on a couple of my videos. Doesn't mean anything to me. People can say what they want. I'm having fun. I might be learning as I go. Some of it I know. Um, I put it up there. If somebody wants to make a rude comment or whatever, that's their problem. It's not mine. I'm not going to pay any attention to them. And I'm certainly not going to engage them. I don't engage. I've never engaged Ed when he's made a comment towards me, and I won't. I respect Ed. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's done some amazing things. I like some of his camshafts. I was looking at those KR1, KR2 camshafts for GT40 and GT40P heads. You know, he knows his cylinder heads. He knows how to set them up. I would even like to get a set of heads from the man at some point. If I was able to get a set of high ports from him someday, set up the way he would do them, it would be awesome. But Ed Curtis of Flowtech Induction and the custom cams, yeah, no, Ed, yeah, he knows his stuff. I can't say anything that way. So, but for me, it's water off a duck's back. When I first started the channel, I'm the type of guy that doesn't even like to have my picture taken. When I started the channel, I couldn't believe I'd done it, and I put it out there, and I got some bad comments, and I never engaged anybody because I said I wouldn't do it, so I don't. And then I think the worst comment I ever got, I might have said this in a live stream before, was somebody went on and said, that's 7 minutes of my life I'll never get back. And I kind of looked at it, and then I've gotten some other comments that were kind of personal, and now I just don't care anymore. Can't say anything won't ever get under my skin, but as of right now, I'm playing it pretty cool and not worried about it. But yeah, no, Ed's built some pretty cool cams from what I've seen. They seem to perform pretty well. Good move. Yeah, thanks, Tim. I mean, I don't know. As you get older, I guess we look at things different. When I was younger, I kind of had a pretty hot head, I suppose. And if somebody was giving it to me, they'd get it back pretty fast. I regret a lot of things I did and said, and I don't want to be that guy anymore. I mean, maybe sometimes people deserve what they or need to hear what you've got to say back towards them, especially when there's no reason for what they've said. But I haven't got enough time left to think about things like that. Rather enjoy myself and move on, right? I got 2 golden retrievers battling World War III over here in the kitchen. Come on, guys, stop. Sorry, everybody. So yeah. I wonder what would be the optimal B cam combo. I've seen some stuff on the Corral. I believe it was Buddy Rawls reverse engineered kind of the B cam, stating it needed about 10.5 to 1 compression or so, needed 1 3/4 inch headers. I don't recall what intake. Curious what the optimal B cam combo would be. I don't know. I got a lot of thoughts rambling around in this head of mine. Think about all kinds of crazy things. I thought about if it would be possible to also make a new version of the tubular intake here at home with a TIG welder, where you change the runner length maybe to have it rev over 53, 5400 like we were talking about, but still have that iconic style, maybe increase the size of the tubes. I don't know. Maybe have a removable end plate so it can be ported if it would need to be. If it was designed right, it wouldn't be an option. Adapter plates to put a 302 intake on a 351, which can be bought, but they're kind of expensive. And I realize there's some engineering in them, but I just can't afford them, especially in Canadian dollars. I wonder how good. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of thoughts rambling around in the old head. I was considering forged rods and pistons for the 351 Windsor and balancing. Not sure I want to do the work currently, though. Well, yeah. Tim, have you seen the guy on, I believe he was on Turbo Forums. He's also on YouTube. I hope I don't get this wrong. I believe the name was 73 Runabout. It's like a 79 or 80 Mustang. And he put a 351, I believe it was an 84 351 or something like that. It wasn't a roller. He put that in there with the stock pistons, GT40P heads, and he ran crazy fast with it. And then he put like a TFS Stage 2 camshaft in it, put trick flow heads on it. I believe that car went eights. So I don't know if the pistons were done by the time it went eights, but it was running crazy fast with the stock pistons. Now, I know those pistons are weak, but from what I've read, they have a bit more meat in them than, say, a 302 piston because of the height, which is helpful. Under detonation, I suppose it's not going to matter a lot, though. But as we were kind of talking about before, blocks, we were talking about stock blocks and how the stock rods and cranks seem to outlast the blocks. I've got this truck motor here. If it was me doing it, I'm not handing out advice, but thinking on my own, biggest thing I'd like to do is change the pistons in that 351 roller motor, and I think I would let it eat after that. I'd be willing to chance it anyway, a set of forged pistons. So at least you have thoughts and ability to do the work. Many or most don't. Well, I'm good at cobbling things together. I can make a mess of generally anything. Not afraid to try it. If I break it, I'll fix it. Hopefully it will. Every time I break it, I say it's going to be better the next time. Runner Man 73. 73 Runabout, I believe. And if I've got that right, his YouTube channel has pictures of videos of the passes on that car, and it's pretty phenomenal. And the Turbo Forums, if I've got the name right, he's got like the whole build on there. And man, the car is phenomenal. Yes, I need to do the pistons if I want to try and use a good header cam. See, yeah. So after seeing what this guy's done, I think I'm going to take the chance of the whole stock motor. I'm probably going to re-ring and bearing it, throw the P's on it, put the turbo kit on it, and we're going to push it. And hopefully we don't bust it because it's getting hard to find a 351 roller up here in Canada. I suppose it's not that easy to find down in the States either. But I'm going to chance it for the good of the channel. We're going to push it and see how far we can take it. But first we're not done abusing the stock 302 in Swamp Thing. So see, we got a few more people online. Anybody got any topics they want to discuss? Products, camshafts, engines, wheels, anything at all. So so many people claim it's easy for power. I just am worried about the safety side of things. Yeah, I wouldn't say the pistons are great. Now this guy that I mentioned, he seemed to have some luck with it. But yeah, if it nukes itself, that would suck, right? So, but yeah. So yeah, so many. I see so many YouTubers out there doing so many great things with Mustangs right now. I wish we didn't have snow. I'm going to use that as my excuse for not getting out there and doing a better job of things. But as soon as the snow is gone, I'm going to get right back at it and get back to the track. But yeah, there's some impressive stuff going on in the YouTube world. That's my excuse for getting fat, though, man. I'm right there with you, man. Right there with you. Not as good as I used to be, and me drinking this stuff probably don't help, but I love it. Think of me as Julian from Trailer Park Boys. Julian walks around with his booze in his glass, and I walk around with my can of Coke all the time. I mix it up though. I go from Coke Zero to high test pretty well, back and forth all the time. But yeah, I'd love to find some more 351 roller motors. They're just not turning up in my local U-Pull. My local U-Pull's been here a couple of years, and that was the only 351 roller I ever found. And my luck, it was in a van. I won't complain too much. It really wasn't that bad to take out. So, but I'll keep watching. Bummer is they don't get many Mustangs. They've got a couple of fives, but that's about it. So yeah. You have a local machine shop you trust with decent prices? No. That's the unfortunate thing. I had a local machine shop I trusted. I'm not very trusting, I guess. I had one guy that I knew there that did exceptional work. He was meticulous. Prices weren't bad. The machine shop got sold. They let him go. And last time I went, I wasn't impressed with pricing. And I haven't been back, and I don't know where to go. And I know one of the best engine builders here in Canada as far as Ford stuff goes. I know that his machinist has retired and he's working with a new guy. Seems to be increasingly hard to find here. So as far as cylinder heads go and whatnot, if they don't need guides, I'm lapping my own valves and doing that kind of thing, putting new springs in. I'll put rings and bearings in, but that's not resizing the rods or polishing the crank or anything like that. So hoping for the best, but I trust my work over anybody else's that I don't know. And I know I'll do my best to get it right. And if I bugger it up, it's on me. So yeah, there's that. How about you, Tim? You got access to a good machine shop in your area? Somebody you trust, good prices, that kind of thing? I always seem to think the States have it better than us, but I don't really know. What is your thoughts on Paul DeFox and his last Fox body build? Did he try doing too much and too expensive? He gave up on it fast. So Paul DeFox's build that I saw, he called the Monster. Is that what we're talking about? The Monster, the red coupe that looks kind of like my red coupe. Mod motor, the car he had built at the shop. Okay, so he had that car built at Paul Silva Performance, and Paul Silva is amazing. Paul Silva has helped me out with stuff in the past. He's a wealth of knowledge. When it comes to Ford Motors, man, I put a lot of faith in Paul. So I believe there was something wrong with that block. I thought that the block was, so I only have partial information. That's all I can really tell you. I thought that the block was brand new and, they assembled the engine and everything. And there was a casting flaw or something wrong with the engine. It was thin in one spot and it broke. And I guess as opposed to building a new motor, we all saw Paul took it apart and waffled it off. I just from his videos and talking with him, I just don't think he was having fun with it anymore. And once you're not having fun with the car, it's time to move on. But that's just what I think went on. I guess we'd be best to ask him on that. As far as the car goes, I mean, if it weren't for the block casting, I know the engine would be top notch. It made lots of power. I love the way it looked. I love the wheels. There's so many cool things on it, like the battery on off switch, the way it was set up. Slips my mind how it was set up, but I watched the video on that he did on that setup, and man, it was impressive. I actually phoned Paul about it to see about getting the parts and whatnot, but I didn't have a lot of money at the time to do it. Oh, that's right. They found that info later. Yeah. Hey, Brailsford's Rides. Wow. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I appreciate that. Manual pull and electronic shop. Yeah, and it was really cool. So Brailsford. We're just talking about Paul DeFox's red coupe. We're open to talking about anything though. If you got anything you want to talk about. We've been talking about wheels and engines and stock blocks and other cool YouTubers such as yourself and what they're up to. And we're just kind of hanging out, having a good time. So yeah, but Paul the Fox's red coupe, it really impressed me. Super clean, super straight. Nothing I didn't like about it. Um, I am partial to a red coupe, I guess, because you guys have probably seen the pictures of mine. They're pretty much the identical car, except I don't have quite the cool stuff. He had a lot better wheels and things than I did. I'm waiting to get my own new Fox here soon. That's awesome. So you're gonna fill us in on what it is, or is it a surprise? I can't remember if I saw something about that. I know you had a video about some of the newer cars. Was there something on the Fox that I missed? Was supposed to be here yesterday, but had a whoopsie. Uh-oh. Everything okay? Or just like a delay? So, yeah, I would love to have a set of wheels like Paul the Fox had on that car. I'll be running the Race Stars, which are a bit heavy, but as we discussed, I really like them. As apart from people calling them poverty stars, but that's all right. That's what I can afford, and they're cool. So I got one for you guys. I'm always curious about this. Mechanically, yes, everything's okay. Glad to hear it, Brailsford. Glad to hear it. So, what's everybody's opinion on chrome or polished wheels versus black? Curious. So, I know this can be a really this can be a debatable subject. That's for sure. Polished on yours. So, I've got the polished Race Stars too, Tim. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, me and my buddies go back and forth quite a bit on this. I've got a buddy that loves black wheels. I'm a polished wheel fan. There's no reason we can't have both, though, right? But it's always interesting. A lot of people say it's because I'm older. I like the polished wheels, but I am older. My boss has powdered black with a polished lip. Hey, you got the best of both worlds, right? Tim, 15 by 8 rear, 17 by 3.5 front. Yeah. So that's pretty much what my Race Stars are. My Race Stars are 15 by 10. I went with the 7.25 backspace. And the reason I did that is if I mini tub it, I can play with the spacers to set the wheel where I want in the chassis. So I've got basically the S197 offset, and I went with the 17 by 3.5 fronts like you did. And even as far as just a basic 15 by 10 setup, I did have to play with the spacers last time I took it to the track, but it worked out good. Good for you. 10s hit on mine. Oh, really? Are the lips rolled and everything? I did a good amount of pounding in the rear of mine, and the lips were rolled before I got it. I actually may have gone excessive with the pounding on mine. Yes, sir. Your lips are rolled. Okay. Yeah. I know with the 28 by 10 slick, I did have the slick rub the front of the quarter panel, take the paint off actually. But that was when it would expand on the dyno. I shouldn't have put it on the dyno, even though I believe it was touching going down the quarter mile too. I'm hoping the wheels I bought for my Fox will fit right. Railsford's ride. What? Gonna let the cat out of the bag on that one or no? Hey, John Doe. What's up, everyone? What's up, John Doe? So yeah, you gonna let the cat out of the bag on what wheels you got, or is that a surprise? I'm curious to know whether you got a 4i or not. So one of my I'm an Aero Fox body guy. I got to admit. I know that the mainstream seems to be gravitating towards everything 4i. But when I was growing up, I started out with a 4i because it was all I could afford, and all I ever wanted was that Aero Fox body. And now it's still in my mind. I got to have an Aero Fox body, but there's two cars that are in the back of my mind that I love and would love to have. First one being 86 GT T-top bucket list car. The other one would be 82 GT T-top, and basically the car from Mr. Mom. I don't know how many of you people out there have seen Mr. Mom, but I love that car. Only place I leak into is my lives, but hey, what do I care? Got some Saleen SC. Hey, right on. Me and Tim were talking about how much we We love the saline wheels too. Tim, same way how everyone wanted the GT, and now the LX is more sought out. Yeah, and I gotta admit on that. So I was uh, I was 15, turning 16, had a job. My mom took me to our local Ford dealer. I was looking at 1991 LX. So they didn't really have 5 liters on the lot. So I was looking to order one. They brought me out the brochure, and I was looking at it. And you know what my choices were going to be as a kid back then? And keep in mind, I love black interior. But growing up, the fastback Mustang was always the thing, right? Nobody wanted the coupe really. So I was determined I was getting a hatchback. And you know what interior I wanted in it? Red interior. I was used to driving a Chevy pickup, a little S10 with a red interior. And that was what I wanted, was a red on red 91 Mustang Helix hatchback. So how my tastes have changed. I got everything coupe here except for Swamp Thing, but I would like to have an 87 GT T-top as well. I like them all. I'd like to have one of each. So I'm rambling here. John Doe, what's up, Altered Stangs and family? Glad I made the live stream. Yeah, and we're happy you're here. This live stream is spur of the moment. I believe it was Tim who asked me the question last live stream. Is there a better time to put it on so more people show up? And didn't really know the answer to that. So I was looking at my statistics tonight. It said 6 o'clock and up is when people that view my channel are on. So we put it up. Brailsford's Rides. I got a deal on them. Wow, yeah. Anytime you can get a deal on wheels, that's amazing. I spent a pile of money on brand new race stars here, and as I've been joking about, they call them poverty stars, but they cost me a lot of money. Brailsford's Rides. Hey, John and Tim. Hey, everybody. Tim Webb. Evening, sir. So John Doe, I'm getting an 88 LX tomorrow to add to my 87 GT. Wish me luck, guys and gals. Good luck, man. 88 LX. Love it. Love it. You know, I love all Mustangs. Bad. See, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. John Doe. Hello, Brailsford's Rides. Right on. I also happen to be getting an 87 GT. Yeah. 87 GT will always hold a special place in my heart, because that was the first real fuel injected 5 liter I ever owned, was a 87 GT top, rusty from Canadian winters, bone stock, and I had nothing but fun with it. And all I ever wanted to do was get rid of it and get a better car. And now I wish I still had it. So Tim Webb, wow, 2 great people in the chat getting new Fox bodies. John Doe, I'm excited. I bet you are. I get excited even when I get a parts car. So yeah, that's awesome. John Doe, your T-tops is going to be epic. I hope so. Hopefully it did a good job on it. I feel like I've done a good job on it. Once we get the seals in, if there's no leaks, well, we should be good to go. I've had a lot of people say to me, friends of mine, as a matter of fact, when I was chatting at Foxtoberfest with them, they were saying, why would you cut T-roofs into a coupe? It's going to leak. But the 87 GT I had, which was beat all to heck, that I drag raced, was rotten, was even rusty in the front of the windshield, never leaked a drop of water. But hopefully I can make it work out that way. Tim Webb, no love for the expensive Camaro, copy Dark Horse. I haven't even looked at the newest Camaro lately. Don't even know. I don't know if GM's doing a great job on their marketing. I never see anything about it. I've always seen lots to do with the Challenger and of course the Mustang. I love all cars, but I'm a Mustang lover through and through. Brailsford's Rides. I had an 85 LX sold back in April 2023. 85. Love it. Love it. This car is getting me supposed to be here a long time. Really, eh? Was it, what do you mean by a long time ago? Like a few days ago or like a couple weeks ago? Or is it weather related or problems like that? John Doe, yes, sir, you know your stuff. Tim Webb, just buy it for $70K, man. Wow. Dark horse is way more than that here. I believe the dark horse here is 94, 95,000. Like June of 23, long ago. Wow. Huh. Coming by container ship? Maybe from Australia? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, it was a painter being lazy related. Paint prison, as I call it. Tim Webb, I'm sorry, man. Enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, no, enjoy it once you get it. That's for sure. Yeah, I call it paint prison. I've seen many examples of it here where hey Bella Cooper. Sorry about that, guys. I've seen many examples of paint prison here where it's gotten really bad. I know one guy who kept giving them money because they said the car would be ready. They even went so far as to tell him he was giving them money all the way through. And they said they'd gone and bought paint. They'd painted the car and they wanted the money for the paint because they were going away for the weekend and they needed the cash. So he drove 2.5 hours to their place, gave them the money. He's standing there in front of the paint booth and he said, "Can I see it?" And they said, "No." They said, "We don't want to open the paint booth, risk getting dirt in the car's paint." So he said, "Okay, I understand that." They said, "But go get your plates and everything. Get the car, get the plates and get it ready for the road. And you know, in a week or two, you'll have it back." So he goes back in a week or two. After calling them, they won't answer his calls. He goes there, he sees their vehicle there. They won't answer the door. He stayed there for a while, kept pounding on the door. Finally, they came out. They opened the paint booth. The car didn't even have the quarters welded on it. It wasn't in paint. It was all apart. The interior was out of it. Hood was off of it. And I felt so sorry for him. That car was there for approximately 5 years. No, sorry. No, the car was there for 7 years because we joked about it, saying that the guy could have been a doctor by now. And I actually went and picked the car up on my trailer. We took it to another guy who eventually finished it, but it still took another couple of years. Not because the guy was lazy or anything like that, just because he had a full-time job and he was kind of doing it when he could. So yeah, paint prison, and it scares me to take them to places like that if you don't know the person or the reputation. Even then, I think I'm still scared. Don't ever pay the money up front. I don't think. I know it can be hard for a small shop to put out the kind of money you need to for body panels and paint and whatnot, but I've heard too many horror stories even of guys that took their cars to get painted, and after they were sandblasted or just in primer, were pushed outside, and they go up there and it's in the rain or it's in the snow, and I'm not having that. That's why I try to look for cars that are painted, but it's tough to find a car with a quality paint job for reasonable money. So, Tim Webb, I used to follow TKO Resto for paint, and they burned many Fox on it. Really, eh? Wow. Brailsford's rides. Luckily, my Boss 302 keeps me entertained. I bet it does, man. I bet it does. I love the Boss 302. One tough engine, that's for sure. There's you say Boss 302, it makes me think of a famous video I've seen on YouTube. Boss 302, somebody automatic swapped blower, Shelby with a VMP Gen 2R, I believe it was automatic, and I think a Vet. And I've watched that video a few times. It's amazing. I was wondering lately, actually, I had to look it up, if a Boss 302 ever came with a glass roof, but apparently they didn't. But I'd love to have a Boss 302, and a glass roof would be something, but I couldn't see me ever hacking it and putting a glass roof in it. I have these ideas from time to time, like Jackie's S197. Think about getting a wrecked car and chopping the roof and putting a glass roof in. I don't know if she'd let me on that car. I don't blame her. I'm rambling on. John Doe, my buddy has a body shop, a little labor, everything for a little help. See, that's amazing. That's awesome. You can't beat that. Actually, I've got a buddy does really good body work. He's going to be opening a shop soon, and at least I'll have somebody I can trust to take my stuff to. And there is another local guy though I've had do some work, and I'm pretty impressed with his stuff. And he's fast. John Doe, TKO Resto equals. Oh, okay. I don't know anything. I can't comment on that one. I don't know. I don't know. Is that a YouTube channel or just a place? But yeah. So yeah, paint prison can be rough. Excuse me. Oh, so any big plans for these cars, Brailsford? Or for the Fox, I should say. Any big plans for the Fox? John Doe, I still check out your trip to the Bahamas. Yeah, I love that trip. That was a bucket list trip for Jackie and I. I would like the video have done better. Regardless, even though it didn't do as well as I had hoped, it was an amazing time for her and I love to have the video to look back on. Railsford's rides. I may install a Boss 302 mid pipes and side pipes, but I don't know yet. That'll be awesome. That will be awesome. Would be the only Boss Fox Laffa. Yeah. Be something with a Boss engine on it, eh? Boss engine with a power adder. Be like eights. Damn. Yeah, no, the Key West trip we took, I thought might be a turning point for the channel, but I was wrong. We didn't take that channel. We didn't take that trip for the sake of the channel. We did it because it's something we always wanted to do. So I know Tim and I believe John. We on the live stream the other day. I believe I was talking about going to Foxtoberfest in the fall. And Jackie and I are going to take another trip. We haven't decided on where yet. If you guys have any great ideas you'd like to see Altered Stangs travel to with a Fox body, feel free to post them up. We'll take them under advisement. John Doe, what's up with your projects, Altered Stangs? My projects are slow going, unfortunately. I got a case of the winter blahs, and I can't seem to find anything around here that I'm looking for, which is my fault. So the beast needs about 4 wires hooked up on the Holly. I need to finish hooking up the transmission controller, and then we can get into getting it running and getting it tuned. T-top needs seals in the interior installed and the engine put back in. Jackie's T-top coupe, sorry. The Silver Bullet, I have to put a steel drive shaft in because of the carnage from our Key West trip. And Swamp Thing needs a bunch more stuff cut out of it. It needs a set of P heads, a B cam, and an Explorer intake, ported P heads, I should say. I've been working on one. I need to get them finished, and we got to shoot for the 11s. And there's a little 4-cylinder coupe out there. I need the T-roof and put a Dutch package on. So a lot of hopes and dreams and ideas. We'll see what I accomplish this year. But we need to have more videos of the car out driving because that's what we need to do with this thing. Man, enjoy your vacations. I'm glad to hear that, John Doe. When we put videos out there, I don't know how Brailsford feels about this, but I mean, we put videos out there. We don't know what people think of them so much, right? Unless they comment. So that's cool. If you have any suggestions on how I can make the videos better or things I should change, I'm more than open to listen to them because I'm always trying to get better. So Brailsford, that's how it should be, man. Enjoy life. And if the channel does do it, but don't let it affect life is how I've done it. Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Brailsford, exactly right. I mean, yeah, I don't think I've ever hit the, I don't know that I've done that well on my videos yet. No, I'm not trying to knock myself or be down on myself. I look at other YouTubers and, they'll have one video that jumped like crazy, got like thousands and thousands of views. I've never really hit that yet. I'm confident it'll happen someday. It might be in my content. It might be the way I film. It might be the editing. I'm working on it all the time, hoping for that big break. I don't know that I'll ever be like or as big as the other guys. I work on mostly junk and used parts and stuff like that. That's kind of my thing, but yeah. So Brailsford, if the channel does fit in, then do it. Yep. I can't type on my phone. Hey, no, that's cool, buddy. That's cool. I get what you're saying. 100%. 100%. And yeah, I don't know. I just want to meet more people. I want to drive the Mustang more. That's the biggest thing in life. We discussed in a live stream the other day about about driving the Mustang more. You know, I happen to mention that there's pretty much a war being waged on gas powered cars today. I know in here in Canada might be the same down in the states, but we have a 2035 mandate. They don't want to sell any more gas powered cars. Now that doesn't mean the gas stations will be gone, but I don't know how many more people are going to invest in gas stations in a type of car that's not going to be made anymore. Um, and then at a certain time, they might stop us from driving gas powered cars altogether. But you know, we could always convert these to electric, which I'm not keen on doing. Didn't grow up with electric. You know, I like the idea of saving environment, but I don't know that electric cars are where it's at. I don't think the technology's figured out yet either. At least not here in Canada. I've seen a lot of instances of it lately that didn't look real good. But enough about that. We can go on about electric cars another time. We'll talk about Mustangs. So, Railsford's rides. I have a bit less content than usual because my boy is playing travel baseball now. Yeah, yeah. I know how you feel. My son used to play hockey, and we used to travel all around for it, and that's important, you know. So I'd rather invest my time in him than my hobbies, as they will always be here for me, and he will eventually not be in my home anymore. You're 100% true. 100% true. Yeah, my son just turned 16. We got out for his first drive the other day in mom's CRV. He's got a Fox Body Coupe waiting for him out in the garage, and I'm hoping he and I will spend some time tinkering with it as opposed to PlayStation 5 as much as he is. But I don't knock him for that. It's his thing. He likes it. It's a different world today. But hopefully he'll remember some of the times working with dad on this car. And whatever he does with it, I'm fine with it. If he sells it off to get some money, maybe to buy his first house or whatever, that's cool. But hopefully enjoy it for a little bit. Brailsford. I grew up playing hockey all the way through. Wow, right on. Really wanted to coach my boys, but COVID made way too expensive made gas way too expensive for travel for practice. Yeah, it sure did. It sure did. COVID made everything expensive and doesn't seem to have come back down. It's absolutely nuts. So yeah, and I can't believe how like I realize your guys' gas is expensive. Whenever I cross the border, I can't believe how much better of a deal it is for me. Uh, it generally costs me half the money once I cross the border, um, which is great. We've got carbon tax upon carbon tax heaped upon us here. It's ridiculous, but nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to stop driving my Mustang because of it. So we'll just fortunately we got to keep paying it. But yeah, I've got a lot of bucket list things I want to do. Whether Jackie and I have the time or energy to get them done, I really want to travel down Route 66 with the Fox. You know, there's just so many places I want to take it. Even here in Canada, I'd like to go to the East Coast with it. I'd like to cross Canada with it, go through the Rockies and whatnot. But you know, with work, that's not always feasible. So, but yeah. So I know Tim and I were talking about the Gray Mare. Anybody watch any of the videos on the Gray Mare? I absolutely love that car and what Tony has done with it. Man, that car's got a following, and rightfully so. That thing has pulled off some amazing stuff on the street. I think sometimes I've had a harder time hooking up the track than Tony's had to hooking on the street years ago, not now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My biggest thing was I was always into building power. Never looked at how to hook it. I always relied on the tire to hook it. Like, I mean, I would have control arms and stuff like that, but I never put enough into hook. So my last outing was a disaster. It was the Beast. The Beast was 700 horsepower at the time at the tires. I went out blazed the tires, halfway down the quarter mile. Near the top end of the track, the car went sideways. I kind of let off, straightened it out. I think it went at 10:30, but yeah. Brailsford's rides. All right, man. Be safe. I've got to go. Thanks very much for tuning in, Brailsford. I appreciate it. Be safe too. Have a good night. But yeah, so I've got to learn suspension tuning. Always been good at making power, not so much at suspension tuning. So, in your opinion, those power levels are worthless unless you're at the track. No. So, as the song goes, ain't nothing. How's that song? Hey, ain't no such thing as a girl too pretty or a car too fast, right? So, I don't know. I'm always looking for more power, see how the car feels, regardless of how it's hooking or not. But I mean, as we've seen with these no prep guys, they can make them hook on just about anything. Now, my car to this point, it's been kind of worthless to have unless I'm at the track because it's not going fast. Even at the track, I'm blowing the tires off, so that's something I've got to address. I've got to learn. I've got to fix. But I love lots of power, even cruising around on the street. I question spending another $4 to $6 grand in upgrades for an extra 100 wheel that would just spin on radials like it does now. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know what to say. I guess it's a matter of what you're into. See, I would do it. I'm a horsepower junkie, and I love to build power. Whether I can hook it or not, I'll build the power. But now I've got a plan, and I do want to do some no prep racing, and I do want to learn it. But yeah, Tim, would the Holley ECU and boost control, traction control work out for you? I think it would. I don't know enough about it, but I have questioned some people on it. I think it would work really good. So definitely something I'm going to have to look into. But recently I've been on like Yellow Bullet, like we were talking about, and I've been on YouTube watching some videos and been seeing what other people are doing to make their cars hook. So I've got some great ideas that are more in the suspension side of it even than ECU or traction control. Hey, Sean. We got Sean 50 here. How's it going, buddy? So Sean is just kind of talking everybody's ear off here. I believe it was Tim that asked me the other day if there was a better time to put the live stream on to see if we could get some more people. And was looking at my analytics tonight, and it looked like a good time to throw it up for more people. So spur of the moment, surprise live stream, and here we are. Tim, so when you find the boost number that spins, you can pull timing at that point. Yeah, I mean, I think the traction control setups can work on their own. We pull timing. I guess with turbos, you can take some boost out. Even though I may not know what I'm talking about. I've never had a turbo. I've run a lot of nitrous. I've run supercharges. I've run nitrous and a supercharger. I've played with the tuning on those, but I haven't on a turbo. I believe we can dial the boost back on a turbo. But there's a guy local to me here making huge power. And his car is beautiful. It's a 82 GT, much like the Mr. Mom car that I love so much. Big turbo. Awesome engine. I think it's 347, 349 cubic inch, I believe. And he runs on 235s. And man, can he make that car go down the track. How does a big nitrous jet feel? Never been a nitrous car. Big nitrous jet? Awesome. So let's talk 150 horse, for example. 150 horse nitrous kit, going to put you at 125 horse at the tires. Now, 125 horse is not like 195 horse. I know, and where I'm going with that is, stock 5.0, some bolt-ons, you're about 195 horse at the tires. But when you kick that nitrous in, it kicks so violent, it almost feels like there's two engines under the hood. That's how I've always described it. You're driving down the street, 3,000 RPM, you flick that switch, shove it to the floor, full throttle switch comes on. It feels like there's two 5-liter engines under the hood. Now, in the case of my blower car, I had a little A-trim. I was overspinning like crazy. It's getting hot. So I put my nitrous kit on, I jetted it for 50 horsepower. So it gave me exactly 50 horsepower at the tires, which was cool, but it gave me 100 foot-pounds of torque. And it sure made a big difference on that car on the bottom end. So I actually got that car to hook. Now it wasn't that fast in today's terms, but back then it was running an 1170 was the best it ran in the heat that day that I had the nitrous on. And yanked the wheels first gear. I was, I guess, kind of slow on my shift probably. And when I hit second gear, it yanked the wheels again. Now we're not talking way up in the air. We're just talking a little bit. But yeah, I love nitrous in a supercharger when your engine can handle it. Now my engine was stock. It was only 50 shots, so it wasn't too big a deal. Not sure about Canada, but have you ever watched the show Pinks or Pastime? They mainly had nitrous cars and would negotiate races with or without and trickery. So, yep, big fan of Pinks and Pastime. As a matter of fact, Pinks All Out 2008, 2007, 2008. I actually got a spot on Pinks All Out, and I had a Mercury Capri, and I had the engine. Actually, we're talking about. I was just talking about a minute ago. In wasn't the same engine. I built that after. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I had a Mercury Capri, automatic C4, big stall, and it was a 306, 274 cam, AFR 185s, Typhoon intake, 75 mil throttle body, AFR 185 heads, shorty headers, full exhaust, and I did have the nitrous hooked to that car, but I don't know if you know Joe Da Silva Racing. He advised me not to turn it on. He didn't want to see me scatter the engine while we were trying to make the show. So I went out and actually got to run it at Pinks All Out. It was intimidating, actually. We were in Norwalk, Ohio. I drove the Capri through the staging lanes. When I finally got out and did my burnout, they had this camera, and you guys have probably seen it on TV now, but I hadn't at the time. This camera come out to the passenger side of my car. I actually come out and around the car and up beside me and got a full shot of the car. And the Pinks All Out used to really pack them in, like thousands and thousands of people, sometimes bigger than the events we're seeing on TV now. And the stands were just packed. And I was scared. Like, I mean, I was nervous. And so I had never run with this reverse manual C4 before. And I had the button pressed. I was up on the trans brake. She was wide open, popping and going on. Light come down and went green. And my first reaction was I'd never had a trans brake before, and I'd never tried this one. My first reaction, I'm shoving my foot to the floor, and the car won't go anywhere because my foot's already on the floor. Then I look at my hand, and it dawns on me I'm holding the trans brake button. I went like this, and the car took off, and the car twisted, and the windshield was actually cracking a little bit. And I thought the seat was going to tear out of the floor. So away we go. Never used the reverse manual ratchet shifter that was in it. Wasn't used to it. Went to go to second gear, and it hung up on me, and it backfired. And then finally I got it into gear, and away we went. It went like a 1080 that pass. And then the next pass I made was with Rich doing the arm drop. And I thought, I can't remember how many thousand people. There's so many people in the stands. It was crazy. And ran like a 69 Camaro. But it was one of the best experiences I ever had racing was Pinks All Out. Excuse me, guys. I actually have a picture of the Capri yanking the wheels at Norwalk, Ohio for Pinks All Out. And Ken Herring that did Pastime, he was actually walking around and he come and like interviewed me for a second, had a look at the car. I actually got him to sign the dash. And before I sold the Capri, I took that piece out and it's actually in the Beast right now. So another signature I want to get is Joe Da Silva, who went down there with me and sponsored me for that race. Next time I have the car up there, I'm going to get him to sign it too. Sean, looks awesome time. Yeah, no, it was absolutely incredible time. The heat was crazy down there that weekend, and there were so many awesome cars to see. You know, I got to see Rich and all them guys, and yeah, it was a wild time. And the thing about the track down there was they had a gift shop with like all kinds of stuff, and they were selling Pink's merchandise, which was cool. But they had like a speed shop there. And you could go in and buy carb kits, and they had all kinds of stuff on the wall. And they had a shop that was open where you could buy tires, Mickey's, like slicks and drag radials. They would install them right there on your wheels. They had the tire machines set up. And because Pink's All Out was there, they had a rock climbing wall. They had a ice cream trailer. They had, excuse me, they had the pretzel trailer. They had a swap meet. Like there was just so much going on. It was crazy. John Doe. Damn, always something new. Thanks for sharing. I didn't know. Props to you, Altered Stangs. No, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Life's too short, so I try and do what I can. It was really hard to get the ticket, actually. I just barely got the ticket before their server locked up, and got to go down, and been a customer of Joe De Silva's since 1998, and he found out I was going, and he opened his shop to me, and he put the car on the dyno and tuned it, and then he loaded it in his trailer, and he took it down for me, and I met him down there, and he coached me all through the race, and he was just awesome. Even lent me his fire jacket. So Tim Webb, that show used to be on Speed Channel around 3 to 5 a.m. Wow, that's early in the morning. Wow. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them in a while. Sean 50, you have had some awesome motors. That's so awesome. Love hearing about the awesome builds. I don't spend a lot on my motors. These were all things built by me. I never do the machine work, but all the final assembly is done by me. I don't let anybody touch my stuff unless I really know them well. So, but yeah, no, I actually have a picture of me building that engine in a dirt floor garage, a dirt floor barn that was over 100 years old. And my dad is, what was he doing? Cutting the grass or cutting up wood or doing wood or something. There's stuff all floating in the air, and I'm trying to keep it out of the motor, but Tim Webb, PowerTube TV YouTube channel has the reruns. PowerTube TV. I'm gonna go on there and see if I can find the episode. I never saw my car go down the track in any of the episodes of Pastime, but I did find where Ken Herring was talking with me and shaking my hand, and you could see the signature on the dash. So I'd like to find that again. John Doe, that's impressive, brother. You are living life. Well, when I can, Jackie and I don't have a lot of cash, and we just do what we can when we can, like anybody else. And Sean, I need to bring my car up to you. Oh, I wish I could, buddy. I wish I could. I get requests all the time to work on other people's cars. Even when I used to have a GT500, had it for a few years. It was my dream car. Bought it, and then I realized I needed to put that money on my mortgage instead of having it sit in my garage. So I sold it, and I had put a Gen 2R supercharger on it, and I had taken the bumper off, and I put the cooler up front with the dual fans. I changed that out. I did just a ton of work to this thing. Put nav in it, and different mufflers, and lightweight rad support, and I did just all kinds of things to this car. Just love it. And put it up for sale. And the guy that bought it, he looked at the work I did, and he said, "Man, if I need anything done to this, can I bring it back to you to have it worked on?" And unfortunately, buddy, I'm sorry. I just don't have time right now. Between my day job and the YouTube channel and trying to finish the projects around here, it's tough. And this time of year, I don't have the motivation I need with the darkness and the cold and whatnot. Tim Webb, Summit Raceway in Ohio. Is that the episode? Yeah. It was Norwalk, Ohio. I think it was 2008, but I did not see the car on that episode. It was Pink's All Outtakes was where I saw Ken Herring shaking my hand. And I think it was Pink's All Outtakes Gainesville. And they don't have any sound of us talking. I believe the music is playing, and they're just flipping from one person's car to the other. You see me shaking his hand. You see the Capri beside me, the door open, and I believe his signature. But so nothing too serious, unfortunately. I would have liked to have made the show. Our best run in that car was at 10:30. The problem was the converter was too loose. We had 21% converter slip. I was going out the end somewhere between 65 and 7,000, which is not good on that stock block. And so if we'd had a tighter converter, it would have run a little faster. But they picked 999 to 1015. So we actually just missed the show. So I was more, I was kind of, I was enjoying myself, but I really wish we'd made it. With Joe helping me so much, I really wanted to make it to the final. What was it, 16 that they would do? I really wanted to make it there because he had helped me so much, but I never got it done. I'm going to Google it. Laugh out loud 100. Yeah, I believe it was Pink's All Out Takes Gainesville was the last time that I saw it. And why it's on the Gainesville episode, I don't know. They must have just been gathering up clips and sticking them in random places. So, but yeah, no, I've had a lot of fun. Like I say, I never started the YouTube channel just say because I bought a Mustang and wanted to start a YouTube channel. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking that. What I'm trying to say is I've lived the Mustang life through and through from the time I was a little kid till now. I've never been without one. I will never be without one. And for me and my family, Mustang means something to us. And in some videos I hope to share later, which are going to be extremely personal and may even start to cry. um, Mustang has been a big part of our lives when we needed it the most. And I know that's going to sound silly, but it'll make sense when I get the video done. At a time we needed to see a sign in my life, Jackie and I really saw one, and I hope to share that with you guys at some point once I get a little bit bigger audience, and I want to share it. And it's going to be a hard video to make, me and Jackie, but John Doe, if and when you decide to come back to Florida, I have a place for you guys to stay. 100. Wow, John, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that a lot because I love Florida. I look to get down there any chance I can. Yep, you're in the Villages, if I remember correctly, right? That's an awesome place. That's between Orlando and North Florida, if memory serves. I've been down there quite a bit, but I'm not always certain. We got more snowmobiles going down the road, guys. Wow, wish my snowmobile was going. Yeah, you're lucky, man. You're lucky, man. That's that would be a dream for me to live in Florida, and I'm not just saying that to make conversation. My wife and I talk about it all the time. Love Florida with a passion, even though last time I was there, when I took the Fox, there was no place to stop. It seemed everything was extremely busy, busier than I'd ever seen it. Been going since 2005, and never felt as rushed or as busy as it did the other day. John Doe, I mean it. Palm Coast between St. Augustine and Daytona Beach. Oh, I got the whole wrong area going. St. Augustine and Daytona Beach. Wow, that's wicked. Damn. You ever been to the U-Pull at Daytona Beach? See, me, when I go on vacation, I'm scouring scrapyards and U-Pulls, things like that, and checking out what people have for sale. Have you ever been to that U-Pull that's not far from the track? I was so impressed by that little U-Pull in Daytona Beach. Cost me $2 to get in. And I we don't have Explorers with V8s here. At least it's not common. And I go into this U-Pull and I'm walking over a GT40 head that somebody dropped on the ground and had dirt all over it. And I'm like, there's a GT40 head here. Like, what the heck? Like, you would never find this in Canada, right? And then so I go and look, and there's three V8 Explorers all in a row, and then there's a convertible Fox body sitting beside it. And I'm like, wow. So, yes, sir. See, you've been to the U-Pull at Daytona. That's wicked. That's wicked. Tim Webb, we don't have good places like that. You don't have good places like that, Chicago area? I've got that right, Tim, right? You have to excuse me. My brain's on overload most of the time. A lot of stuff rattling around it here. I believe we were talking Chicago area, right? Um, I guess in my head, I always assumed that explorers and stuff were plentiful all over the United States, let's say. But I know watching Tusson's videos, man, that guy finds everything at the wreckers. Like, I mean, he goes there. multiple Explorers, your choice of 40s or P heads. Then he finds Stangs, SN95s, and Foxes. Then he finds 351 roller motors. He even found one out of the van he bought that time. But I don't think he ever did anything with that yet, unless I missed it. I would love to see what he can do with one of those. I'm going to find out what I can do with one of those, but I'd like to see what he can do with one of those. What heads and intake you recommend to run with my B303? Okay, Sean, hold on. Okay, so are we going budget? Is there a horsepower goal? So I guess what I would say is if we're going budget friendly, Explorer intake is great because it's cheap. It's going to top out 5,400 RPM for max power. So as opposed to running a Systemax or something like that, you're going to be down a little bit. But I mean, we're not talking extreme amounts unless you're into hardcore racing, naturally aspirated. But I mean, when we're talking hardcore racing, you're going to gut the car and everything else, right? So unless you've got a horsepower goal you're trying to achieve, Explorer intake's going to get the job done. P heads, 40 heads, they're great. You're going to make average combos like what? 269 horses my always get is my general go-to guess. Because on average, I see them 265 to 272. Can you make 300 with them? I have seen guys make 300 with them. Usually requires a little bit of porting, both the intake and the heads. Now, if you've got some money to spend, my go-to choice would be a Systemax because, in my opinion, there's nothing better than a Systemax. I'd still love to find one. I have seen where the Systemax has added horsepower over a track heat on a naturally aspirated combo with P heads and an X cam. It was significant for a little naturally aspirated 302. I want to say it was at least 9 rear wheel. Might have been more, but significantly it brought the RPM up a little bit more. My go-to cylinder head is the Trick Flow Twisted Wedge 170. I believe in the past people have been 7s on those, if I remember correctly. They will allow you to run a cam up to an XE274. Now, the XE274, as I've said in the past, you got to take with a grain of salt because the clearances are tight, maybe too tight to run. I have chanced it and I have made it in the past, but I did adjust the cam timing to get where I wanted to be. But you said B cam, so I'm getting off topic anyway. If I had the money to spend, it would be Trick Flow Twisted Wedge 170s because you can run the 202 valve, you can run a good cam, make tons of power. There's no reason that car shouldn't be over 300 with a set of Trick Flow 170s, Twisted Wedge. And then if something ever does happen, like you split the block in half, those Twisted Wedge 170s come right off and they'll go onto another motor, as opposed to another inline head with a 202 valve where you'll have to fly cut the pistons. And I've been in that situation and it sucks. So not looking for anything crazy, just a fun weekend car. Okay, so if you're just looking for a fun weekend car and you don't want to break the bank, grab the cheapest Explorer intake you can find. The hard part is finding the 40 heads here in Canada or P heads here in Canada. And, they want a lot of money for P heads and 40s here in Canada. So at that point, you got to look at, can I find a set of used Trick Flows, reasonably priced? And it all comes down to whether it's a good head or not. Buying used, you could take your chances sometimes. Mr. Mach 1, hello. Good to see you. New here, don't know many people. Well, we're happy to have you. We're rambling on about just about anything. If you got anything you want to talk about, feel free to throw it out there. We're just talking about B-cam, P-headed combos. We've been talking about wheels tonight. We've been talking about my projects. I've been rambling on about running at Pink's. Slipped my mind. Oh boy, that Pink show that wasn't Pink's. Pink's All Out. That's what it was. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose it. So good stuff. Oh, cool. Well, what's new with you, Mr. Mach 1? Anything exciting? Yeah. So I really need to get off my butt and get this beast finished. This red coupe with the YSI on it. It's like I got something on my back. I got to get off it. But it's my own fault. I bought the Holly used, and I'm missing a lot of the little tags, and so I'm hooking it up and I'm playing with the wiring. And then I only had one color of wiring when I hooked it up, which is bothering me now. I should have bought multicolors, and I just feel like tearing it out and starting over. So, Mr. Mach 1, nothing really, just working on an old 1980 Fairmont. Now that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. This Fairmont, what's it got for a drivetrain? Just curious. Yeah, those Fairmonts are doing pretty good in this no prep stuff. Seen a few of those working excellent. Why shouldn't they, right? It's a Mustang with a Fairmont body on top of it. Or maybe we're driving Mustang bodies with a Fairmont underneath it. I don't know. What the hell did I just say? Doesn't you guys know what I'm talking about, I hope. Yeah, no, I swear I got a lot rattling around up in the old brain, and it doesn't work correctly a lot of times. So yeah, we got a few people online. This is definitely a lot better time to do a live stream. So anybody got anything they want to talk about? I've been rambling on about all kinds of things. Mr. Mach 1, we got a 351 with a C4 and a 410 rear end. Now tell me that's not a mover. Wow. That 351 got a bunch of work done to it, or that's regardless, she's gonna fly anyway. So you just working on it, or is that your car? Yeah, I wanted to make some videos of Swamp Thing in the snow, but every time I get Swamp Thing outside, I get stuck. Swamp Thing does not go anywhere in the snow, even with pizza cutters on it. We all know pizza cutters are better in the snow than a wide tire. And with some 15-inch SN95 wheels and skinny little tires, it don't go nowhere. It's horrible. So I don't know if I'll ever get to make that video. And it really frustrates me once I get it stuck. So we should take bets to see how long Swamp Thing will last this year. Oil pressure is really low. I'm surprised it lasted this long, but we'll see how we make out with Swamp this year. I'm going to push him pretty hard to get him into the 11s, but he's going to go. I refer to him as a he. I don't know why, but he seems to have a personality of his own. John Doe, I'm going to put a C4 in my 87. I'm an amputee with a size 13 foot. Wow, good size foot. I need consistency. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. I had a C4 in that Capri, and man, one awesome transmission. I traded it to my buddy, some deal we made, but one wicked transmission. Yeah, I don't know if you've used it yet or not. Let us know. I just know I was super impressed with mine. Just being real, people. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. I personally, I love autos and I love sticks. Like, so the Pro Touring car I'm building, it's Lentec 470 auto, just so I can get the overdrive for this Pro Touring deal. Swamp Thing's always going to be stick, but that's just to fulfill my stick need. That and this no prep stuff. I want to get involved in this no prep racing, but obviously I don't have the budget for it. The only class that I might have a shot in would be stick shift. So that's why I want to leave Swamp Thing stick shift. Mr. Mach 1, nothing wrong with being real. Absolutely not. Nothing wrong with being real. John Doe, I got it out of a running 1967 Mustang. He took me for a test drive. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Very good. Yeah. Nothing beats being able to go for a test drive in one. John Doe, appreciate it, Mr. Mach 1. Yes, sir. Yeah. No, it's a good group of people we got here. That's awesome. So someday I hope to meet up with all you guys, maybe at one of these events or something. So any of you guys going to take your car to Motor City Fox Fest or Foxtoberfest? I know I'm going to go down there. I won't have a booth or anything, but I'll be roaming around the parking lot, looking for friends, looking for people to talk Mustangs to. John Doe, how's the weather in Canada? It is snowing like crazy here today. in Ontario. Shoveled the driveway once already. Gonna have to do it again. Yeah, it sucks. I hate it. When I was a kid, loved snow. Look forward to the winter, probably because I used to snowmobile a lot. Now my snowmobile generally sits in the backyard. I don't even want to go fire it up because it's hard to start, and I haven't worked on it because I'm doing Fox body stuff. So it just sits. John, don't laugh out loud. Sean, I'm going to Detroit. Well, I'm going to meet up with you in Detroit, Sean. I never got to meet up with you last time. We're definitely going to meet up. Maybe we can get a gang together and go for dinner. Maybe we can get, I know Infamous is going. Maybe Sal's going to go. I don't know. I would hope to see Sal there again. The gang of guys that went last time, maybe we can all go to Ford's Garage is right there. Maybe we go to that for dinner or anywhere. I know I'm pretty partial to what's that steak place I love so much? It's not Outback. Texas Roadhouse. Love that. 91 Mustang LX. Hey, Mark. Thanks for joining in, buddy. We're talking about anything and everything. We've talked about wheels and power adders and stock blocks and the time I raced at Pink's All Out but didn't make the show. So open to any type of conversation. Anything you want to talk about. Anything goes Mustang-wise. So, yeah. John Doe, I want to check out some Mustang events. I have to get it street worthy. Yeah. Well, yeah. So, I may have to bring my Stang down your way and we'll meet up, even if it's a cars and coffee. Next time I'm headed back down that way, I'll have to bug you. Mr. Mach 1, I'm 20 miles from Detroit. You're 20 miles from Detroit? Damn. So we're going to see you at Motor City Fox Fest, right? Damn. So are you in good with all the Facebook page? I'm on it all the time, but I can't think of the name. Is it Michigan or Detroit Fox Bodies? Oh, I'm so horrible with names. There's been some great stuff for sale on there lately. We got to convince these people to bring it to Motor City Fox Fest because I love used stuff. 91 Mustang LX. Hey, Mr. Mach 1, Sean 50, and John Doe. Howdy, everybody. Hope we haven't missed anybody. Hello to everybody else that may not have put a message out there. Mr. Mach 1, hi. Oh, John Doe, Texas Roadhouse. I love the Texas Roadhouse. So that's one of the places we'll all have to hit. We can ever get a big group together. Mr. Mach 1, hi, 91 Mustang LX. Nice to meet you. Sean 50, that'd be awesome. Thank you. I have to go get up early, going to Peterborough tomorrow morning for work. You're going to Peterborough tomorrow morning for work in the snow. Oh, my goodness, Sean. You be safe out there, okay? Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. 91 Mustang LX. Hi, Mr. Mach 1. Nice to meet you, too. John Doe, your Stang is very impressive. I can't believe you drove it from Canada to the Keys. That's impressive. This Mustang has actually cursed me more than any Mustang I've ever had. Mustangs for me have always been reliable as a 2-pound sledgehammer. You just can't break it. I have never been stranded by a 5-liter Mustang in my life up until I bought the Curse, the Silver Bullet. I bought it on a skid. Probably a lot of you have heard that over and over. I've thrown it in my videos. It was on 4x4 skid, had no suspension, had no engine, transmission, no wheels, no nothing. I put this thing together out of junk in my backyard, out of every parts car I've gathered up. Some of the stuff's been sitting 20 years. And it left me on the side of the highway 3 times here before I ever ventured out to Motor City Fox Fest. 2 of the times I made it home with stuff I had in the car. The last time I had to put down a trailer because the fuel pump went out of it and I wasn't going to drop the tank on the side of the highway. So, yeah, the third time it broke down was I was getting pretty mad at it, and Motor City Fox Fest was coming up, and I said, "To heck with it," and we went. It worked pretty good, and then we drove it all the way to North Carolina and Foxtoberfest. We made it that far, and Jackie and I said, "What the heck? Let's keep going." So it made it there and back. A couple hiccups. Pushing it out of the gas station in Georgia was no fun because it was busy as heck. So yeah, 91 Mustang LX. Steve, how many parts cars do you have? Not as many as I used to. I've got there's only one Fox Body Parts car out there right now, one SN95 and one S197, and that's all that's out there for parts cars right now. Mr. Mach 1, I was at the last Fox Fest last summer. Damn, I didn't know that. Yeah, we're gonna have to meet up. We're gonna have to meet up at Motor City Fox Fest. Sean's gonna be there, Sean 50, and we'll all meet up and get introduced and hang out and talk Stangs. We'll have to get Mark to get that Sweet Leaf finished so we can get down there as a big group. John Doe, the silver bullet is, but I also like Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing. He's got a special place in my heart. He's got a lot of heart. He just never gives up. It's one of the toughest fox bodies I've ever seen for being a big piece of crap. The silver bullet. The silver bullet is got a lot of sentimental value for me now. Now that Jackie and I made that trip to the Keys in the back, to the Keys and back, I don't know that I could ever sell that car simply out of sentimental value. That car means a ton to me now. And we've got a lot more bucket list trips planned with that car. And after we make those, I think it's got to stay, even though it pisses me off a lot. John Doe, good night, 91 Mustang LX. Mr. Mach 1, I met Paul and Sally there. Yeah, I met up with Paul and Sally there too, actually. Yeah. I've met up with them at the Toronto meet before, but it was cool to see them at Motor City Fox Fest. So John Doe, appreciate everything you do, my man. Nice meeting everyone here tonight. I appreciate that very much, John Doe, and I hope to make a bunch more videos, and hope you guys will find them a lot of fun. I make videos just on whatever I'm doing, and I hope people like them. So thanks very much for watching them. That means a lot to me. Anytime somebody will take the time to watch something I made, it's means a lot to me. Somebody takes the time to, look at something that you did. That's cool. That's cool. So 91 Mustang LX, need to bring that coupe to Montreal, Steve. I just might. You know me, I'm always looking to drive somewhere. La Montreal is not too bad. It's been a while since I've been through Montreal. It's probably been about 5 years. How far is Montreal from Ottawa? I think I'm about 3.5 hours from Ottawa. John Doe, Paul and Sally seem like solid folks, good folks. I love talking to Paul. I know when I started the channel, Paul actually reached out to me. I didn't know him from a hole in the ground. He knew I was a Canadian YouTuber, I guess. Not that I think that mattered or anything, but he reached out. He actually gave me some helpful ideas. And I know right after Christmas, him and I were talking, and I love talking to Paul. Don't get to meet up with him as much as I should, but hopefully I'll see him at Motor City Fox Fest. 91 Mustang LX. Good night, John Doe. 91 Mustang LX. You come to Montreal, steak is on me if you come. Ottawa to Montreal is 2 hours flat at 115 kilometers an hour. Okay. I thought it was about, 5.5, something like that. Steak is on you. I'm coming right now. I'll buy the beer then. So, no, that's cool. John Doe, I believe we all love the hobby and have the same interest. It's awesome. Fox Body community is the best. It really is the best, I believe. Now, I'm not part of any of the other communities, but I can't imagine one being any better than this. The people you meet and how they'll help you with your project, from advice to sharing things, somebody's down and out, needs something. I mean, they come together. The companies come together to help people. We've seen that in the past. I mean, it's an unbelievable community. And until I see otherwise, I believe that the Mustang community is the best one around. But I'm biased 100%. I love Mustangs, and I'm always going to think that. So yeah, I wish I could lend Mark a hand with that Sweet Leaf there. Get that V8 jammed in there. I was looking at a hole in the engine bay thinking, geez, there needs to be V8 in there. And then then I saw this thing hanging in the air. I don't know what that was. It must be a prototype engine. It looked like it only had 4 cylinders. Mustangs don't come with 4 cylinders. Mark, what the heck is that thing? No. um, two kinds of cars, Ford and can't afford 100. Agreed. Agreed. The way Fox bodies are going, I'm not going to be able to afford one soon. Mr. Mach 1, sounds like I have some catching up to do on video. I have some catching up to do on everybody's videos myself. It's hard to make videos and work full time, and I know what it's like. 91 Mustang LX, our Mustang Fox body community has given me lifelong friendships. It's a great thing. Watching everyone come together for Bama 5.0 is inspiring. That was what a devastating loss. I can't even imagine what that would have been like. Looking at the footage, that was just heartbreaking. 91 Mustang LX, only overhead cam Fox body, prototype. We used to have a guy that would come down to the parking lot with a little 4-cylinder, and I used to joke that that was a prototype. I'd never seen one before. Mr. Mach 1, you ever been to Ford Takeover in Jackson, Tennessee? I have not. But you better believe it's on my list. I really want to go. Is that? Oh, sorry, Mr. Mach 1, you're in Detroit, right? Yeah, you're close to Detroit, so yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, it's a bit of a drive for you too. So have you been to Ford Takeover? You recommend going? I want to go. John Doe, appreciate you taking the time to live stream and reach out to us average Joe. You guys aren't average Joes. I'm no different than you guys. I'm just playing with junk. All my stuff is junk. I get most of my stuff used. I'm constantly battling junk. I don't know who heard it the other day in my live stream, but putting together Jackie's engine for the coupe. I got an old set of heads somebody gave me. I grabbed them because they were E7s with a good set of valve springs in them. They'd been under a plastic sheet on an engine when I got them, and I didn't realize water had leaked in there. I actually bolted them to the motor. I did not look down the intake ports. I'm cleaning everything out, scraping the gaskets off. I look down the intake ports, and the valves are so rusty that I can't use them the way they are. So now I got to pull that head off, pull the valves out, clean everything up. I'm going to hand lap them. And it's my own mistake. I did that to myself, but I'll fix it. It'll be better than it was, and we'll move on. But all my stuff is what I can find off Marketplace, Scrapyard. Other than the Beast, I spent a little bit of money on the Beast, but most of it was used, and we do what we can. But I'm an average Joe too. Average Joe, proud to be an average Joe with you guys in the Fox body community. So I mean, yeah. Bama 5.0 is a good dude. I don't know Bama 5.0. I never met him. I hear great things though. A lot of people have reached out to help him, and man, I can't even imagine what is going through. I'm sitting here in my house, and you got to think to yourself, what if all this was gone, right? And I believe it wasn't insured. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but you imagine you lost all this and there's nothing to fall back on. I mean, and it's not just your house. House is major, but it's everything inside, all your mementos and pictures and keepsakes. And I just feel so bad for the dude. What a horrible thing to have happen. And I guess it happened to quite a few people as well. So 91 Mustang LX, 100%. Bama's a good dude. Yeah, no, I believe it. Mr. Mach 1, Ford Takeover is a blast. Plan on going again this year. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't think I can make it this year. So I don't have a lot of holidays. I had a career here where I live, and they folded up the factory, and they in 2018. And I had to go to a new job after years and years of being with that company. So I've lost my holidays I've accumulated basically. So I have a job with a pretty good schedule. When you work around that, I've got a good amount of time off, but we've got to see what I can do. I know we're 100% going to Detroit Motor City Fox Fest, 100% going to Foxtoberfest and do something after. I will look at this date though for Ford takeover and see what we can do. If not this year, I'm definitely going to do it another year. Mr. Mach 1 Funky Stangs goes the Ford takeover as well. Right on. I would love to go to Tennessee. I love everything down south Tennessee. Yeah. 91 Mustang LX. The front door of his house ended up in the cab of his Fox body. Just doing that. It did. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Mm. I, I I still can't believe the picture of the car. Like, I mean, he's got bigger problems in the car, for sure. But the picture of that car, I couldn't believe how bad it was bent. I know it was thrown upside down. That car looked to go like this, the way it was sitting. It was, man. Oof. Yeah, I love the idea of living in the other states, but in the southern states, but I guess there's that to deal with. We got hit with a pretty major storm, which tore the side off my house at one point, but it didn't like take the wall out, just the siding and the stack. So I'm thankful of that. So pretty minor fix, but that to me was a violent storm, and it was nothing like what happened to Bama. So when's that engine going in, Mark? Soon? I know you're holding some videos out on us, not sure. No, I'm east of the GTA, about 3 hours from Ottawa, roughly. So yeah, I'm actually, what would I be? Probably an hour and a half from Toronto. Well, actually, you never know with the 401. I could be 5 hours from Toronto, depending on traffic. Yeah. I'll stay right here in Michigan. Yeah, my dad tells me that, Mr. Mach 1, every time I'm always talking about moving to Florida. It's always in my head. My dad always tells me, they got snakes down there. They got spiders down there. They got alligators down there. For some reason, those things don't worry me, but yeah, some of the storms they have are pretty wild. So 91 Mustang LX, waiting on the block to arrive, and I need to build the engine, but also painting apron and engine bay, turning into a bigger project than I intended. Yeah, I seen you cleaning up the engine bay. It was looking real good. Real good. So I know you got GT40. I can't remember if they were Ps or 40s. You got P heads, I think it was. And you got them hogged out. And you have an Explorer intake, right? What cam? You got the Legendary B, one of my favorites. Oh, you got 3 bars, no clearance issues with the spark plugs. Nice. Nice. Yeah, they work. You got an F303. That's right. I remember that. F303 is a darn good camshaft. Leaves you the option to put the Amazon Turbo on there and let her eat. I picked up one of those Amazon Turbos. I think it was under $300 when I bought it. Seen them on sale a couple of times. What a great deal. Now I just need an Amazon TIG welder to fab it all up. But so Montreal. Maybe once the salt's gone, Mark, head down that way. Mr. Mach 1. Ha, Fairmont build 91 Mustang. Looks nice. Yeah, Fairmonts are cool. There's not many of them in my area. 91 Mustang LX. You let me know, buddy, and we will have fun. Right on. Right on. Yeah, I've never had a Fairmont. Capri, lots of Stangs. Mr. Mach 1, it's turning into that in a hurry. No, that's cool. So anybody seen anybody happen to see a good deal on Twisted Wedges for sale? Something I'm kind of looking for all the time. 91 Mustang LX. I had an 83 Marquis that I should have kept. That's a cool car. We had a Marquis that was local to us, and the guy had it painted up. It was like a cow. We called it the cow car. And he put a lot of money into this. Had a pretty good engine in it, all rebuilt and everything. And on the back window, it had Pink Floyd. the album with a rainbow kind of shooting up. And he had, I believe it was like tractor trailer hubcaps, look like that. And his dream for that car was to convert it to a dually. Man, he never did do it that I know of. At least I heard he moved away and the car went with him. But when he was here, he never did it. But that would have been something, dually with some big flares on it. So, so do you see any Fox bodies for sale where you live, Mark? Many Fox bodies around? There's like nothing around here anymore. How about you, Mr. Mach One, or John Doe, or anybody out there? What's the Fox body market like? Um, there's not a whole lot where I live, but so many have been scrapped. You know, and I think start to see so many coupes around, but 30 years ago, it never seemed like there was any coupes around. I don't know if more hatches have been scrapped than coupes, like because there were so many more made, or what the deal is. But here I am rambling on again. All kinds of thoughts going through this head. 91 Mustang LX dually Fox body. I love it. There are many in your area, but they're all junk and too expensive. My 88 GT parts car cost me 3,400 Canadian. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah. I know locally, I got a guy that's been parting them out quite a bit. He's getting like 1,600 for a T5, and like 1,600 for a 302 and whatnot. So yeah, 3,400 for a parts car. I can see it totally. Mr. Mach 1, I see them all the time, but the prices are crazy. Yeah. I bought so many for 500, 700 bucks, parted them out, but that was a long time ago. Wish I'd kept all that stuff. But then I'd have a bigger problem than I do now. Can't hardly move in my garage. So, yeah. So, got more people online than the other day. So, my live stream the other day, I asked a question. Swamp Thing, I'm trying to make Swamp Thing run 11s with P heads, Explorer intake, B cam. Now I'm determined I'm going to do it, and it should do it. And my goal is to do it by the end of this year. After that, though, I want to try and get this car into no prep racing, turbo, that 351 out there. I'm thinking, what do you guys think? Should Swamp Thing always have a B cam, no matter what we do with it? Like, I mean, I'm under the firm belief when you're a stock block, it doesn't really matter the parts you have when you have a power adder. You'll always be beyond the limit of the block. So I don't have the money for an aftermarket block. Should we always just leave a B cam and Swamp Thing and see how far we can push them, even with a turbo, 351, whatever heads we find? I don't know. I'm thinking B cam is the right cam for the job. Not because it's amazing, just because it's old school and it suits Swamp Thing. I paid $60 for the B cam that will go into Swamp Thing. When I showed up to get it, the guy never told me anything about it or sent me any pictures. It was actually in a wheelbarrow and it was wet and it was starting to rust. And I gave him the $60 because it was cheap enough. And I brought it home and I stood it up in a container, put some oil on it. I wet sanded it till it looked half okay. And I threw it in and I ran it for a while. And now it's out on the bench waiting to go on Swamp Thing. Mr. 91 Mustang LX, I could cry at the oh, sorry, I'm behind. Mr. Mach 1, I see them all the time, but the prices are crazy. Yeah. 91 Mustang LX, I could cry at the prices I sold Foxes for in the past. Yeah. And the parts I sold, and I look at them today and it's like, wow. And not that I want to make more money at it. Now I need those parts. I got to go spend more. Mr. Mach 1, you can do it. Well, I appreciate that. Looking forward to it. 91 Mustang LX, nothing wrong with a B303. Yeah, that might have to be the thing. Swamp Thing's a B cam car. Now, I've got other cams here. I mean, there's what's out there? There's an E cam out there. There's a 274, one of my favorites. But I'm thinking Swamp Thing should be B. So, 91 Mustang LX. When did an Explorer GT40 intake become worth 500? They used to be selling. I know. Well, Actually, I shouldn't say that. Here, here, I never really found any. I've never found that many Explorer stuff wasn't that common here, eh, Mark? So I didn't see too many intakes for sale. But yeah, you can still pick Explorer intakes up in the States for between 50 and $100 generally. Now, when I was down at Foxtoberfest, they were asking 150, $160 for them. But yeah, up here, I would say, 380 is getting to be the average bottom dollar, all the way up to 5 and 600, as you say. I've seen that. And, I know that's cheaper than some other intakes, but I don't think I could do it. I think I'd have to add some money with it at 500 or $600 and get something else. But yeah, there's lots down in the States. Mind you, I didn't see any at Motor City Fox Fest when I went. I was looking pretty hard. So yeah, the cylinder head selection up here too. It's nuts. I saw a set of GT40P heads go for $1,200. Like, how does that happen? I don't know. I think that's a lot of money. But so so we got quite a few people here online. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Any BCAM and a Holly Systemax would be pretty potent in Swamp Thing. Yeah, Holly Systemax is an intake that's always eluded me. Um, Probably don't have the cash to buy a new one. It would hurt. Always look for a used one. Never seem to be at the right place for one. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Chances are we're going to be a BCAM and a Explorer for a while. But if I do put that turbo on to try and go no prep racing, it'll be beyond the limit of the block, even with the Explorer intake. Yeah, without an aftermarket block, it's no point in putting a crazy amount of money into things, unless you do plan to upgrade later, and you want a better intake and a better head and whatnot for later down the road. But yeah. So, do you have any local shop that ports intakes? Nope. No, I don't know anybody. Actually, I shouldn't say that. So he's not local to me, but Paul Silva in Scarborough, the brothers Joe and Paul. He's done a ton of porting in the past, but I don't think he's porting as much anymore, or trying not to. You could try him. But yeah, what you want to port your Explorer, Mark? Oh, PSP. Yeah, he is. Wealth of knowledge there. I'm scared of the day if he retires, because if or when, because man, the knowledge is incredible, and having him to go to when we have a problem is absolutely amazing. 91 Mustang LX. Been thinking about it. So I did a little bit of research. If you go on TMOS's porting site, if you Google it, he's got a lot of information on there. I've got some videos on it. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional porter. I'm not an amateur porter, but I'm pretty happy with the job I did. I actually had a little bit of material welded to all the runners, so I could make the curve a bit more gradual and have a better shot at the intake port. Really happy with the way it turned out. When I put it on the car, I did notice a difference, and I already had a ported lower to begin with. I'm anxious to get on the dyno and see what difference it made. Steve, are you a mad porter? No, not mad. Pretty happy in general. What kind of porter am I? I'm the porter that doesn't know anything, but will pick up the bit and start grinding anyway. Figure, what can it hurt if I go through the intake? I'll weld it up, or have somebody weld it up, right? One of the things I found with the Explorer intake, where you could probably get some gains, in my opinion, is if you look into the intake and it's probably soaked with oil or carbon or something, there's it's pretty porous. And just touching it with the grinding bit, that stuff will fall off almost like a casting flash. Um, I actually took a lot of material out by just hitting that and having knocking that all off. Mr. Mach 1, I have a lot of shops around here, but they take forever. Yeah, yeah. So, there's a lot of good porting. I don't mean me. There's a lot of good porters on YouTube that we can all learn from. I mean, Terry Grover does a lot of stuff with heads. I like watching his channel. He likes to do things. I believe he says a different way, but I'm pretty impressed by it. There's some other ones on there. Now, another guy who's got a lot of information is the Mad Porter, 50 Tussin. He's got a lot of great videos on porting different things and what he does, and he's a good source of information. 91 Mustang LX. Motor City is blessed with good builders and shops. Up here, not so much. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, local to me, there's nobody that's porting or any place for me to take for machining that I know of. Yeah. And it's getting tougher every day. I mean, we're losing people in the profession. They're retiring, they're moving on, and there doesn't seem to be anybody to take their place, unfortunately. Times are changing. It's more of a pick up the phone and order a crate motor or a cylinder head and move on, throwaway, right? 91 Mustang LX. I wish we had a Fox body only swap meet in Canada. I would drive hours for that. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I mean, I haven't even really seen that. So, like the Silva Racing, Joe Da Silva, he'll often have a bit of a garage sale where he'll bring out a bunch of parts that he's got upstairs and he'll sell. And I found some pretty cool stuff there. Joe's always got a lot of stuff. Paul Silva often has some used stuff in stock that's pretty neat. By far the best swap meet I've ever been to was Foxtoberfest. It's absolutely incredible. Like me, I love junk. I love used stuff. I love scrapyards. So we get to Foxtoberfest. Jackie's with me, and she's like, "What do you want to do first?" I hop out of the car. I look immediately over to the swap meet. Like, let's go to swap meet. Here we've got cars that have over $100,000 in them, and I'm not knocking them by a little bit. I can't wait to see them, but I'm running over to the swap meet because I love parts. I love that what might be gold hiding in that bin over there or underneath a pile of junk. And I love and as Mark is saying, up here in Canada, it's a little bit of a different scene. We get down there and we see motorsport stuff we've never seen before, and we see parts that we've only seen in magazines or on YouTube sitting right there on the grass. And it's amazing. I know I never even had a tubular intake manifold up until about 6 years ago. All my life wanting a tubular intake, never ran across one for sale, and finally got one. But in Canada, it's a different scene here. Mr. Mach 1, we just sold the junkyard in September. You sold the junkyard in September? Was in business for 40 years. Wow. You must have some cool stuff. Like, you must have like a lot of 351 roller motors rolling through there and some P heads and intakes and stuff. I guess it's not as exciting down there though, right? For the same reason an Explorer intake will go for like $50 down there versus like 400 here. Yeah. That's pretty cool though. I can only imagine the finds you did find in the junkyard though. Wow. My dad is 92 and I just didn't have the time for it anymore. Do you have a whole lot of stuff you hoarded? Some cool stuff? That gets me excited. I gotta say, oh man, it would be bad. My parents had a farm at one point, and my dad had this big long drive shed, and he wasn't farming anymore. I just loaded it with Fox body stuff. It was bad, and then he sold the farm, and I had to get it all out of there. It was a disaster. 91 Mustang LX. Mr. Mach 1 still has his first car. I wish I did. Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. Mr. Mach 1 sold it with everything in it. No room at my house. Wow. Yeah, we can only hold so much. I keep saying I want to make this, my garage up here at the house and the one out back, more YouTube friendly, something I can be proud to show you guys. And right now it's an embarrassment. I have hung on to too much stuff. I have hoarded Mustang parts just like a hoarder would. And my situation is pretty awful. It's pretty hard to work on. And when I show you guys videos, I tend to just aim the camera one way away from the disaster. And that's what I do. So I've got to get better at that and make it a better space. Something along the lines of what my buddy Infamous Chris has done. C431. Evening, gentlemen. Evening, C431. Glad to have you here. I'm rambling on a mile a minute. We're talking about everything from wheels to power adders to camshafts and cylinder heads and the time I raced at Pink's All Out and all kinds of different crazy stuff. Feel free to throw up a subject and we'll ramble on about it. Mr. Mach 1, C431. Hello. Mike's Garage. Hello. Good to have you. So, Mike, I was just saying we're rambling around on about just about anything. Feel free to throw up a subject and we'll keep rambling about it. Mr. Mach 1, Mike's Garage. Yeah, buddy. Mike's Garage. Collecting parts is what we do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a problem with me. Steve, have you ever had any 74 to 78 Stangs? No, sir. Not a one. How about yourself, Mark? 91 Mustang LX. Hey, Mike's Garage. Mr. Mach 1, I kind of shared your stream. Hope you don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'm super excited for more people to join in. Thank you very much, Mr. Mach 1. So I'm actually looking for a part from a 74 to 78 Stang if anybody sees it. I bought myself a $80 used manual rack at Foxtoberfest for Swamp Thing because I'm all about budget oriented. And the problem I'm having is I don't have the little collar that goes on the steering shaft to mount the steering knuckle to. And apparently I need one from a 74 to 78 manual Stang. If anybody has one kicking around or knows of one. 91 Mustang LX. Hey, Mike's Garage. Did I say that? Oh, yeah, we're moving on. Mike's Garage. Hey, 91 Mustang and Mr. Mach 1. Man, this is great tonight. Having a great time. 91 Mustang LX. Had a 78 Mustang 2. Crane toilet blue with a white interior. T-tops 4-speed stick with 2.8 Cologne V slicks. Slow but great sounding motor. T-tops would be cool. That's got to be a light car. I don't know anything about them. That's got to be a light car. I mean, would that thing be lighter than a Fox body? It's a tiny little car, right? I mean, I have sat in one in the past. It seemed like there was no floor pan there, and I'm a small guy. I don't know. C431 laugh out loud. Nice. Mr. Mach 1, Altered Stangs, you have live streams with a panel. Not sure what you mean. Like there's a panel down the side of my screen. I'm new to live streams. I'm watching a panel with everything you guys are putting on the side of my screen. 91 Mustang LX was fun in the snow. I was 17 or 18 at the time. Cool. I always thought those cars would be a rocket. It's funny we don't see them hardly at all anymore. And the Cobra too, some people say it's kind of gaudy. I'm kind of fond of the Cobra too. The black with the gold and the red lettering looks kind of tough. Big back wheel on it would change the attitude of the car a whole bunch. Proper engine, once somebody sees it go for the first time, cars are in a special place in our heart once they start working real good. So, can't see a thing. Mr. Mach 1, haha, no, use StreamYards and you can have a stream with people on your panel. Okay, that I'm going to have to look at later. I don't know what we're talking about. Pen. Okay, I'm going to write it down so I can check it out. StreamYards. And you can have a stream with people on your panel. Okay, no, I will look at that. Thanks, Mr. Mach 1. I think I know what you mean. Is that what I've seen on Paul and Sally's where like I'm on here and then like you could be on here and like Mark could be on here and like we could like actually chat? I believe. I hope. Hey, right on. Okay, yeah, I'll look into it. Mike's Garage. Yep, right on. Okay, I don't know how to make it happen here tonight, but we'll look at it. That's Dylan. Everybody. He's a new driver. Stay off the roads. Be careful. Yeah. Be careful out there. 91 Mustang LX. I use StreamYard. So is that. Hey, Mr. Mach 1 says, hey, young man. He says hi. He ran away, though. StreamYard. So I went to Google Chrome, went to YouTube, fired this up. So StreamYard, I got to go to StreamYard, like a site. 91 Mustang LX says, hey, young blood. He says, hey, he's quiet. Mr. Mach 1, Mark can help you with it. All right, I'll have to bug Mark. I've been meaning to actually get Mark's contact information. I couldn't find him on Facebook, so. But yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool. No, this has been awesome. So yeah, Swamp Thing, I don't know how hard it's going to be to make them competitive in no prep. I believe one of the faster no prep cars around here is mid nines, which I'm not going to. That's Cat with a K. But yeah, she's awesome. Sorry, guys. Yeah, mid nines, I believe, and Swamp Thing's not going to go anywhere near that. Not right away, that's for sure. But I got to learn how to get that car down the track on a no prep surface. 91 Mustang LX. Absolutely. Ask Paul. He has my number, Steve. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get chatting, Mark. Maybe we can conglomerate on, if that's not the word. I can't think of the word. It's on. Maybe we can get together on a few things. Benefit both of, help each other out channel wise. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you guys know. 91 Mustang LX, cute kitty. Right on. Yeah, she's awesome. 91 Mustang LX. I like that, but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we get together and maybe do a live stream or something like that, or maybe meet up and do a video or something. You're not that far away, in my opinion. 5 hours for me. I love to drive, so whatever. Sure, we can make it happen. No, yeah, no, I find that work, I don't know about you guys, but work has gotten in the way the last bunch of years. And, I know we all have to work. I get that, but I'm feeling older. I've had some friends pass away recently. I'm seeing people pass away that aren't much older than me. And I got to get out there and do more and drive more. And it sucks that work gets in the way, but it does. I wish YouTube was a full-time career because I would drive around and make videos because that's what I want to do. May not work out that way, but that's okay. Having fun like this too. So 91 Mustang LX. I like to drive too. Drove to meet Paul last year. Yeah, I heard you did. I didn't see if there was a video or not. I should check that. But yeah. Mike's Garage. What line of work are you in? I'm an industrial millwright mechanic. So working on big machines, taking them apart, putting them back together, repairing them on the fly. And I like it, but I'm starting to feel that Jackie and I have worked all our lives, much like you guys, and it just feels like too much time has been spent working, not enough has been fulfilling the bucket list stuff, and that's what the Key West trip was in October. That was the first of it, and we're going to do more of that, and hopefully we'll share it on YouTube for those that want to see it. Those that don't will watch something else, and that's okay. Mr. Mach 1, I know what you mean. I'm 58. Yeah. Just seems like time is flying. Like I'm about to turn 49, and time is flying, and I don't want to waste much more. Like I used to have a Fox body that was original paint. Quite a history to it. Ford engineer owned it, brand new. It was in a magazine. It's on Ford's employee website with the wheels in the air, and it was my pride and joy. I had this car 11 years. I put 1,200 miles on it. I was always afraid that I would ruin the original paint somehow or something would happen to the car. Finally, I sold it and got my Shelby and swore I was going to drive the Shelby more, which I did. So I sold the Shelby, and then I said, the next Fox body I'm going to drive. So I purposely found one that didn't have original paint. I never want that again. I never want an original paint car again. I got to say that twice. It's not going to happen because I will be afraid to drive that car and I will park it. So along comes the Silver Bullet. The paint is really good, but in the same respect, if somebody opens their car door into it, it gets into a fender bender. They'll put a fender on it, they'll repaint it. I won't be upset. But that original paint car with that history to it, there would be no way I could drive it. So where I'm rambling on about, trying to get to is I'm getting older and I got to drive it. So 91 Mustang LX. Yes, I have a video of the trip. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to have to check your video out. 91 Mustang LX. My childhood best friend is a millwright. Super cool trade. Yeah, it's a really good trade. I would do it over a lot of other trades. However, if I was going back to do it again, from what I've seen, I would be an electrician. So, yeah. Salty Stang at Altered Stang. Highest come over from Mr. Mach 1's recommendation. Well, thanks for coming. And thank you, Mr. Mach 1. 91 Mustang LX. Hey, Salty. Mr. Mach 1, Salty Stang. Yeah, buddy. C431. That's how I feel about mine. Going 30 years with it. Me and my pops rebuilt it from a scrapyard. Yeah, and that's awesome, right? I mean, you have the sentimental thing going on, which is wonderful. I love cars with sentimental feel. That's what the Silver Bullet is to me now. And C431, you're scared to use it? Yeah, well, yeah, I'd be scared to lose that car too. I would. I hear you. Yeah, I didn't realize. I get it now. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe in that case, another Fox body's the answer, but it doesn't have to be an incredible Fox body. It just has to be reliable, right? I know I've got a project sitting out here in the shop. I want my dad to help me with, so I can say that, and get Dylan to help me with, so I can say 3 generations of us worked on it, and then I won't sell that car. I'm extremely sentimental when it comes to stuff and cars and people, and yeah. So, Mr. Mach 1, welcome. It's what we do. Yep. Salty Stang. Sup, Gary, Mark, Mike G. How are you guys tonight? Mr. Mach 1, just living the daily salt. Sorry, I screwed that up. Mr. Mach 1, just living the dream, Salty Stang, just trying to figure whose dream it is. I often say that I'm living the nightmare, usually when I'm going into work on the midnight shift for 12 hours. Salty Stang, build a V8 Ranger. You can beat the snot out of them and save the Fox bodies. Now, that's not a bad idea. I don't see too many Rangers around anymore. That'd be a pretty cool hot rod to have. We used to have a really straight tubbed one running around town here. It was beautiful, but I don't know where it went. I hate to say this too, guys, but well, any of you guys that have heard me talk before is I'm a diehard Mustang guy through and through, but I'm a lot like Leno. If I had money, I would have every type of car, and I'm a sucker for an S10 as well. 91 Mustang LX. I'm stupid sentimental about my Fox, even my POS daily. I'm weird like that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's how you know you got the right car, right, Mark? I mean, without that, it's just a car. Salty Stang, mid-80s Rangers, lightweight, and it don't take lots of power to have a really fun street ride. That's so true. That little Ranger is light, and they got good looks. I mean, Mr. Mach 1, I love them all, just can't afford them all. Yeah, I hear you. So, like, For anybody that doesn't know me, I Mustang through and through. They're a big part of my life, and I hope to do a video showing what the Mustang means to my family. They've as far as signs go in life, I've had signs that come from Mustang stuff, and they've helped me through some tough patches. And it's gonna be a hard video to make, but I'll explain that at a later point. But ever since I was a kid, my dad had one new, and it's been in the family photo album pictures, and I've always had one. I will always have one. They mean that much to me. But the amount I love cars, I mean, I would have a Supra, I would have a Skyline, I would have certain vets, I would have a Challenger, I would have a Camaro. I mean, it would be bad. It'd be a bad scene. I'd have to have Leno's money in order to make it happen. So Salty Stang, yeah, Mr. Gary, I'd love to have your garage. Uh, right on. Sounds like a big one. 91 Mustang LX. Sweetly found me. I didn't find her. It all happened magically after my dad passed away, and it was meant to be. Well, sorry to hear about your dad, Mark. Glad that Sweetly found its way to you, though. That's awesome. Mr. Mach 1, Salty Stang, just an old beat up Fairmont in my garage. Nothing wrong with a Fairmont. Wolf in sheep's clothing. No, that's good. Is that a 4-door Fairmont, Mr. Mach 1, or is that a 2-door? And did you guys ever see Joe Da Silva's Fairmont? It was pretty cool, 4-door. Well, I believe he had more than one, but the most famous one I remember was the 4-door. Salty Stang, I'm not sure I'd do a Supra, but I'd for sure have an NSX. NSX is a cool car. Oh, yeah. Mr. Mach 1, 2-door box top, right on. Right on. 91 Mustang LX. Mr. Mach 1, that is one bad Fairmont, cleanest one I've seen. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Joe Da Silva, if you guys haven't seen it, built one. He painted it like the factory blue. It was like a one owner, little old lady owned, no miles on it when he got it. He brings it into the shop. He puts a 5-liter Mustang roller motor on it. Old blower. Was it a Paxton? I think it had an old Paxton on it. I think it was a tubular intake. He ran like 10s with it. Stick shift. Oh, that thing was wicked. He put race buckets in it that were black with blue in the center, and then he had the same material put on the rear seat. It was cool. Mr. Mach 1, thanks. Salty Stang, Gary is just putting up a little 203 horsepower small block in it. I know the car. I'm going to have to check this car out. 91 Mustang LX. I like PSP Black 83 Cougar. The Fox, Thunderbird, and Cougar have a place in my heart. Yeah, War Fox. So back in the day, I know Paul didn't, I don't think Paul has a dyno today, but he was getting War Fox dynoed at Joe's shop. And I happened to be there waiting to get my car dynoed. And what they did was they took a whole bunch of boxes they had and they put them up behind War Fox. I don't know if they were trying to stop sound from going out next door or whatever it was. They fire War Fox up and they go to make a pull. And they got it on the floorboards and it blows all the boxes over. Like they had this thing stacked about yay high. And it just blew them over like it was nothing. It was wicked. And last time I saw that car, Paul was making some unreal improvements to it. It looked really amazing under the hood. Mike's Garage. I just want a 2004 Mysticome Cobra. Yeah, I love the Cobras. My personal opinion is that's going to be the next big car. You know, like it's going to be like the Grand Nationals are today. I mean, we're talking about the first supercharged Stang with independent rear suspension and a 6-speed, and it hasn't been made since. That's incredible. 2 years only. A lot of them were crashed. A lot of them were parted out. A lot of them were turned into race cars. It's going to be a huge car. I wish I had the money to grab one, but not in the cards. Mr. Mach 1, Mike's Garage. You have the room for one now. Yeah, get one. Get one. Salty Stang. Yeah, he does. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, 0304 Cobra. That'd be on the bucket list, that one. I would love to have another GT500, but I don't know. I'd love to have the one I had, which was an 08, or a slightly newer one with a glass roof. That'd be cool. I'd be super stoked with a 13 or 14 5.0 with a glass. I'd be super stoked with anything. A Stang from the U-Pull. Just as long as it's new to me. Salty Stang. Hello, Mike. Your Mach 1 is as fast or faster than an 03 Cobra. Very nice. Yeah, those Mach 1 internals are pretty tough. Mr. Mach 1, my wife had an 03 Cobra and she sold it, told her not to. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mr. Mach 1, I got to ask, what color was that? 91 Mustang LX. Mike needs to build a Fox body tribute version of an 0304 Mach 1 and think about it. Yeah, that'd be cool. Shaker. I think I've seen that somewhere. Fox body with a Mach 1 shaker on it. Black. Oh, my goodness. There used to be a black 0304 Cobra I used to drool over. It was an Ontario car, and it had BBS arcades on it, plasmas, 10 in the rear, 8.5 in the front. And it went up for sale. The guy that worked at Stida owned it, and I wish I'd have bought it, but I didn't. 91 Mustang LX. I love the 0304 Mach 1 wheels on a Fox body. Right on. Salty Stang. Mark, me too. So, Mark, what wheels are you putting on Sweetleaf? Just curious. I've only seen that thing rolling on 10 holes, right? If memory serves correct. Mr. Mach 1, 91 Mustang LX. Sexy. That'd be cool. However, I hate to say it, I'm a sucker for old school drag lights still, though. I'm a sucker for everything old school. So anybody got any big road trips planned this year? Any place you want to go? Jackie and I are trying to figure out where to go after Foxtoberfest, but we haven't put a tack in the map yet. 91 Mustang LX. I have a parlay with a great friend to purchase some wheels very soon. That sounds interesting. That sounds very good. Salty Stang altered. I'm sure you'll find out if you ever come to one of live streams. I hate all stock Fox body wheels. Nice. All right. I see what's going on there. Okay. Yeah. Salty Stang, I'm going to check out your live stream. We'll figure out when the next one is here for sure. I'm a drag lights guy too. Yeah. I like my 10 holes, but it's time for a change. Yeah. I made the biggest mistake one time, Mark. I polished a set of 10 holes. Not only did I polish the 10 holes, the face, I did each individual hole. And if you've seen those, they're porous as heck. And I did them all by hand, and it turned out really good, but my friends have never let me live it down to this day. I get teased about those 10 holes all the time. And then I sold them with a car, and all that work is gone now. So, Mr. Mach 1, Ford takeover, maybe Mustang week, depends on the wife's vacation day. Now you bring up something I've been itching to go to for years, Mustang week. Oh my God, I'd love to do that. I actually forgot about that. When I'm thinking about things to do this year, I actually forgot about Mustang week, but I have I've always watched the videos and whatnot, and I miss it. And I missed it, and I got to go at some point. 91 Mustang LX, not in my budget, but I do love the 17-inch 10 holes from LMR. Yeah, that's pretty cool, eh? 17-inch 10 hole, maybe a 3.5 on the front. Salty Stang. I have no content. I don't film videos, but I'm everyone's punching bag. They all need someone to make fun of. But I love all the smack talking. It's all in good fun. Gotcha. Well, I'll go looking and see when your next live stream is and see if I can make it on. The only thing that'll stop me is if I'm at work. So, Mike's Garage went there last year. Very nice, really, eh? Man, Mustang Week, yeah. Mustang Week. That's that. I'm not confusing it, right? That is where all the famous videos are, where they come out and they let her go and they go into the median, they go into the lanes across the road. and also amazing burnout contest on the track, if I remember right. Mr. Mach 1, oh, we have a hoot on our streams. No doubt. Mr. Mach 1, yes, laugh out loud. Yeah, see, yeah, I want to see all that. Salty Stang, drag lights, Convo Pros, and old school center line. Those are my wheels of choice. Yep. Yeah, I've never had a set of the Convo Pros. Always wanted to. Mark, we sure do. Yeah, no doubt. As for the drag lights, my buddy built up a car a couple of years ago, and I sold him a set of 15 by 10 drag lights. And he did it's a black on black coupe. He rolled the lips, pounded it in, got them to fit, and man, nothing looked tougher than that car. It had a big Pro Charger on the front of it, built motor by PSP, and it had the old school thing down, but tons of power. It just looked so mean. When he come in, the wheels were just a gleaming. You know, the polish on those 10 holes when they get to the point where the light reflects and you can see the brightness shining on the ground at night with that black car. Oh man, it was wicked. 91 Mustang LX, just been missing so many lately on account of work. Glad I caught this one. Yeah, no, I hear you, Mark. It's hard with work life, right? And then, you know, everybody trying to do the YouTube thing and work in between. It's a hard balance sometimes. So I haven't made as many friends on here as I should. I should be checking more stuff out and getting involved because like we talked about the Mustang community, everybody's just great. And this has been a blast for me tonight. My other live stream didn't go so well the other day, and there was only a couple people, and I was happy to chat with them, but there's only a couple. Tonight's been just amazing, though. Salty Stang, yeah, Mark, we've been missing you around, but hey, family and life comes first. Cars are just a hobby. Yeah, that damn work gets in the way, don't it? 91 Mustang LX, you've always been a great supporter, and I consider you a friend, Steve. Same here, Mark. Same here. I know whenever I post something, you're usually the first person to comment or put something down. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we'll get together at some point here. 91 Mustang LX. Thanks, Salty. Been missing you fellows too. Yeah. Oh, this is wonderful. Salty saying, Salty Stang. I can honestly say I can't speak on that. I'm retired. Oh, awesome. Awesome. No, that's good, man. Good for you. Good for you. I'm on the Freedom 105 plan. Hope to get there someday myself, you know. Maybe if I can make it that long. So 91 Mustang LX. Not trying to get mushy. Let's all agree Honda Ridgeline is an abomination. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. I can't say I'm too fond of electric vehicles yet either until the technology goes the other way. I think for a northern climate like where Mark and I live and Mike, or sorry, Mr. Mach 1 here, I don't think it's there yet. Maybe someday though. I'll embrace them if the technology's there, where it's going to work for us and be economical, because they sure are fast. But I still want to have a car that's gas powered that'll beat the majority of those electric things, which might be tough, but we're going to work on it. Maybe Swamp Thing will be the car to do that. Salty Stang, forced into retirement, not this way by choice. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I know what it's like to be forced out of your career. My company closed up. They didn't move anywhere else. They just closed up. So I don't know your situation, but sorry about that, man. Mr. Mach 1, still have 5 years till I can retire. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm sure they'll go by fast. Time just seems to go by fast as hell anymore. Salty Stang, I'd buy a Honda Ridgeline before I'd buy a Mach-E. At least the Hondas are not riding on the backs of a famous car. Yeah, you know, I really don't like the fact that Ford named that electric vehicle the Mach-E. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the Mustang. It doesn't look anything like a Mustang. They just I don't know. In my opinion, that name is on there just to attract people that may have always wanted a Mustang in life, but it wasn't practical. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what I've thought about. 91 Mustang LX push button start is for race cars, not Kia in this sense. Mr. Mach 1, the older I get, the faster time flies by. Yeah, 100%. And my daughter turned 23 the other day. I feel that way. My son just got his license. I took him out for his first drive. I feel that way. And, since COVID hit, it seemed to accelerate all that. We were into COVID. COVID seemed like it was forever, and now COVID's gone, and 4 years has gone by. It's like, where did that go? And then in that 4 years, how much did we get to do? It's been pretty crazy. Everybody's suspect. Welcome. I agree. It's just to get kids to buy Ford. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you put the name on it, and, I don't know. Mike's Garage. Mach-E has issues. If you go wide open throttle too often, it damages the battery. Really? That I did not know. Salty Stang. The Mach-E name is fine. They didn't need to add the Mustang name to it. It was all for sales because they know that piece of shit would have bombed. POS would have bombed. I think it's heading that way now. Yeah, I think with this recent the battery failures that have happened recently, and then this cold snap that affected things. And I know in Alberta, they were told not to use power, and they told you not to plug in your electric vehicles, and, they drop half their range in the cold climate. I think it's something we really need to rethink. And I know, like, my wife and I are always trying to save money. So my daily is a really crappy brown Honda Civic with rust, but I paid $3,000 for it 5 years ago. And realistically, aside from rust, it'll last another 5 years. So for 10 years, for $3,000, I fill it up once a month because my work is close. And I really never do any work to it other than brakes, things like that, right? I put a muffler on it. There's no electric car I can buy that's going to allow me to save money like that. It's not possible. So, they're trying to force these things down our throat, and I don't agree with it, but sorry guys, that's not a Mustang thing, I know. 91 Mustang LX, they should have called it the Thunderbird. I don't hate the way the Mach-E looks. If it were gas and called Crown Vic, it would be cool. Yeah, I think they should have called it something else too. Mr. Mach 1, haha, my oldest son is 40. Yep, started young. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. I know a buddy of mine had his kids way early, and they're both out of the house now, so he laughs at me all the time. He laughs at me a lot, but Salty Stang, don't worry about cussing, sir. Wait till you visit one of our live stream. It's cuss bomb heavy. We like it that way. Nice. 91 Mustang LX, Steve, ideally a Nissan Micra. I get it. Yeah, it's the best way to save money, right? And they're trying to ram these electric cars down our throat. And if you think about it, right, like these electric cars are 60 to 100 grand. And who wants to buy a used one? I mean, first of all, I'm not going to find an electric car for $3,000. Even if I did get an electric car for $3,000, is it going to need a $60,000 battery? I mean, here in Canada, they put our pension age up, what was it, from 65 to 67? And I believe comments were made saying we should save more. Well, how can we save more with electric cars rammed down our throat? But that's a whole other Canadian political issue that I'm sorry to bring up, but stuff flies through my head and I ramble on, and there it is, so. Everybody's suspect. Cold weather destroys batteries. Yeah, exactly. I went into my garage. I didn't have the heat turned on. I took my phone in there. I said, I've got an old leather couch. It's an ancient thing from the living room here. The wife didn't want anymore. Set the phone on it. It was pretty cold. Picked it up, and it had gone from like 98% down to, I don't know what it was, but it dropped like crazy. I had to come back in the house and charge it after a little bit, Mr. Mach 1, everybody's suspect. Hello. The lifespan on batteries sucks. Yep. Everybody's suspect. Hello, Mr. Mach 1. I bought that Micra in 2015, brand new for $9,998. See, what a deal. Like, Really? That's great, right? 9 years later, original battery and brakes, 135,000 kilometers. It's been a loyal beater with a heater. At least it's a stick shift. Excuse me. At least it's a stick shift. Laugh out loud. Exactly, right, Mark? So now that thing's going to last you a long time yet, 135,000 kilometers. I know, like my Civic, there's a pile of them in the scrapyard right now. You know, people will argue the fact that if you have to put a motor in that car, it's going to cost X number of dollars. Well, it's not going to cost the amount of a battery. It's not going to cost the amount of a transmission. My local U-Pull, I can get a motor for $450, and I can get a tranny for 100 and I believe it was $138. As a matter of fact, the tranny for the Silver Bullet that we just drove down to Key West and back come out of the U-Pull out of a V6 Mustang, had like 300K on it, paid $138 for it, jammed it in, and it works, right? Not going to do that with these electric cars. I mean, for people, I don't know, people in my situation, money wise, I can't afford to go their route. So, but you know, the batteries no V. Oh, sorry, Salty Stang. The batteries in those EVs have a lifespan of what, 8 to 10 years. Who in the hell wants to drop that much money that often? Replacing batteries when we're building an engine is nowhere near that much. Exactly, Salty Stang. Yeah, exactly. And like some of them too, like it says 8 to 10 years. You guys have probably seen the news. There was a couple of I'm not going to bring up the brand name here, but there was a couple of electric cars, the same brand, same make, and the battery went out just after warranty, and the battery cost more than the car did. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. And we're hearing more and more problems, and they're catching fire. I mean, that's not good for the environment. And then what do they do with these batteries when they take them out? And I'm not convinced yet. Up here in the Great White North, I don't want to have a car like that. I mean, you turn the heat on, it's losing mileage. It's cold out, you're losing mileage. Like my Civic, it'll drop a little bit of mileage because it's cold out, but nothing like that. Once it's warmed up, there's no difference in mileage. It's just the warm up stretch where it's different. So, and having the heater on does not affect it. So, but I believe there's hope for electric cars. I believe if the technology ever gets there and the infrastructure ever gets there, they might be good. And if they're fast and awesome, I will have one. But and hopefully they're a lot cooler looking than they are now, because I haven't seen really anyone that I like. I don't know who's designing these things, but damn, they sure could use some help. 91 Mustang LX. Because of our current Canadian inflation, I could sell my 9-year-old Micra for close to what I bought it new. But they're not going to get me. I'm keeping it until it breaks into. Yeah, exactly. Right, Mark? Yeah, I've just noticed car prices just starting to come down, because I bought that Civic for $3,000, and then you saw the same car going for over $7,000, but they're starting to come back down to where it's reasonable, which I'm happy about. Salty Stang. Yeah, what about the biggest name in the market to where their batteries are catching on fire? It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it takes to make these batteries and disposal and put out fires. And you imagine what's going up into the air when they catch on fire. And, you know, the best thing they could do, in my opinion, is not overcomplicate cars. I know a buddy of mine trades his truck in every 3 years. He bought a new one, and he went back to the dealership because it was going to need brakes. It was getting close to his lease time. And they looked at it and they said, hey, you know, you've had a couple of problems with this already. And he did, like with cameras and electronics. They said, you've been lucky this far. If you buy it outright, you could have more problems with it. You're best to get into a new vehicle. And that's how they're putting people into these new vehicles, by saying, hey, you've only had a few problems. It could get much worse. You should get a new one. Cars should be simpler. That's what's fantastic about the Micra. That's what's fantastic about the Civic. It doesn't have that much going on inside of it, right? And if you really got to have all those electronic gizmos, Kenwood navigation deck today is pretty amazing. Apple CarPlay and everything it's got going for it, you can do a lot. If that unit breaks, you can take it out and toss it, put a new one in. But not so much. So I know my boss had a truck and the dash started to go on the blink. He took it in after the warranty. It was $12,000 they wanted to fix the dash. I don't know. I think Civics and stuff, the way they were before body control modules, before CAN bus, really can't be beat. But I'm thinking old school, I suppose. So 91 Mustang LX, the only options my Micra has is intermittent wipers. Well, intermittent wipers are cool, Mark. Nothing wrong with that. So my Civic's got rust as an option. Come that way when I got it. But so yeah. So anybody got any Mustang stuff they want to talk about? We went way off the rails on that. Or I went way off the rails on that. So yeah. So Salty Stang, yeah, new Kenwood on Amazon is $150 to $350. Perfect option. Yeah, that's my go-to deck. I buy them used generally. I bought a Kenwood DNX. I put in the Shelby with navigation and everything. I was really impressed by it. I actually bought a wiring harness to hook to the Shelby to the Kenwood, and it would actually bring up the tack, boost levels, all kinds of stuff right on the face of the Kenwood. So when I sold the Shelby, I found another one, the exact same model, actually in the next town over from me. It's only about a 20-minute drive. I bought that one used off that guy, and I put it in the Silver Bullet, which is what we use to go to Key West and back. So it's been absolutely amazing. And what do we got here? Mark 91 Mustang. I'm a Clarion man myself. Nothing wrong with Clarion. Absolutely fantastic. There's a local dealer here, not far from me. I've actually looked into those myself. Salty Stang. This time I bought an Alpine. We're going to see if it's as good as Kenwood. I love Alpine. My first deck was an Alpine. I don't think you can go wrong with any of that stuff, right? If there's a problem, we can take it out, pop a new one in there. You know, it's not like the whole car is an issue or something at that point. But yeah, I did the 417 Fox mod where you raise it up, put the heater controls underneath. And for traveling, that's been the best thing ever. My old eyes, it's better to have it closer to me than further away, I suppose. And it was great to have the navigation right there. 91 Mustang LX. My first subwoofer was an Alpine Type S. Right on, man. Right on. I think my first subwoofer was a Pile. Yeah, didn't work too bad. And I think I got some JLs. But it's almost time for me to buy a subwoofer again. I don't have any left. I got a bunch of stereo equipment, but no subs. Salty Stang, that's an awesome mod that is something Ford should have done from the factory. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that they ever would, though. There'd be something to say for a car company that would bring out a simple car again without CAN bus, without body control modules, with a replaceable head unit like an Alpine, a Clarion, and Kenwood. Pretty much be a bulletproof car up until the rust gets at it. But yeah, actually, that brings to mind something I've had thoughts of lately. I've wanted to when they announced that they're going to make the last gas-powered Mustang, it sure would be nice to have the money to buy one. I imagine it'd be quite expensive. I mean, everything's expensive these days, but hopefully that's not for a very long time. But it sure would be nice to have one of the last gas-powered ones made. That would be epic. But 91 Mustang LX, I agree. That would be the one to buy anew. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. And it would be, I don't want to see the last gas-powered Mustang personally, but if it happens, it sure would be nice to have the money to buy it. Salty Stang, hell, I'd like to see a car built without airbags. I hate the airbag steerings in the Fox. They're just ugly as hell. Yeah, I don't see them going back that way. I hear you. But safety standards, I don't think they'd ever revert back to. But there's just too much overcomplicated stuff today. I see it even in stuff I work on. There's too much electronics. Back when stuff was manual, it was more cut and dry. You know, a linkage that runs something instead of wireless, and it just I don't know. Getting older, a lot of things are the simpler the better for reliability and for ease of maintaining or fixing. Salty Stang, give a 7980 stick steering wheel any day in a Fox. Yep, Smiley. I got a Smiley on my wall. I got him hung upside down. He's laughing at me all the time, or smiling at me all the time. 91 Mustang LX, leave my Ford Aerostar steering wheel alone. That's about it, eh? That's about it. Yeah. For the longest time, I wanted one of those steering wheels because when I saw the 92 and 3 Mustang coupes with the black interior and the different dome light and daytime running lights and that steering wheel, I was all in awe. But now there's something about well, I think they finished off the 92, 93 Mustangs pretty well, but yeah, the airbag steering wheel is not quite like Smiley. I'd like to have one of those motorsport steering wheels and have a spot for, the buttons for like line lock or trans brake or something. I'd really like to get one of those. For the Beast, not so much for Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing pretty much needs like a chain link steering wheel to look proper, or uh, or I could use the lawnmower blade that Jackie's T-top coupe came with. And I'll see if I can dig a picture of that up at some point. So, so yeah. Anybody got anything else they want to chat about? I like the sport wheel. My 1980 had the 3-spoke with holes. Yeah, I remember that. I had one of those too, and I had an 80 with a straight 6. And if I remember right, it was cracking or something. So I got one of those Canadian Tire kits with the leather wrap and the shoelace and strung it through there. That actually looked pretty good after. But yeah, I know the wheel you're talking about. It's pretty cool, Mark. Salty Stang. I'm a 4-eye guy. Don't get me wrong. The Aero Foxes are nice, but the 4-eyes have my heart. Yeah, I love them all. And I don't know if you were here earlier, Salty Stang, but 2 on my bucket list: 86 GT T-top and 82 GT T-top, Mr. Mom edition, burgundy. Yeah, they got a special place in my heart. 91 Mustang LX, Canadian Piff Paff Rescue Motor Master for the win. Yeah, that was about all we had for a long time, eh? Now we got Amazon. I will say though, I bought a set of cheap LEDs off Amazon before we took the trip to Key West, and I did that because I tinted the headlights, trying to change the look of the Silver Bullet, which I was happy with, but I couldn't see very well anymore. Man, did those cheap LEDs ever make a difference? I'm so happy with them, I can't believe it. Um, I couldn't imagine the trip without them. So pretty cool if anybody needs headlights. And I still have the box outside. I can look up the brand if anybody's interested, but they were just the cheapest one I could find with good reviews, and pretty cool. 91 Mustang LX, 85 LX Coupe, sage green, beige interior. I know the car. 5-liter 5-speed, mint, all original is my dream Fox, dream car actually. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Last year, the carburetor. Yeah, you do a lot of cool stuff with the carb. I'm actually missing having a carbureted car. Everything here is fuely, but there's nothing I can bring myself to carburate at this time. Mr. Mach 1, I love all Mustangs, just not a fan of the S650. Yeah, and I don't know if it'll grow on me or not. A lot of times the car comes out, I'm not that keen on it, then it grows on you. I don't know yet. However, I would like to drive it. Salty Stang, 82 GT T-top is a bucket list car for me, black with gold stripe package. I know the car. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Salty Stang. Carb cars are just simple. All you need is a flathead to tune, not a laptop. Yeah, and I miss that. I had carb for a long time, but I missed that a little bit. 91 Mustang LX. Mr. Mach 1's Orange Mach 1 is what made me love the S550. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys. So I have a friend, really good friend. He's got a Capri in his backyard sitting on a trailer, and it's an '82 Mercury Capri Black Magic. It's a T roof. It used to be a factory four-cylinder turbo, and from what we've seen on the internet, somebody actually reached out, made a comment. Somebody that frequents Four Eyed Pride, and they said that car is actually one of one. Now, unfortunately, it's been stripped down. Doesn't have much black magic left to it, and of course, the drivetrain's gone. But they believe that thing could be one of one. That's pretty incredible. So it had been put to Arrow Nose, but he's been buying the Capri parts to put it back to a Capri. So pretty neat. I don't think it'll ever be four cylinder again, but at least it's going to be a Capri again. 91 Mustang LX Duster Orange, I think. Salty Stang, yeah, I agree. Gary's car is beautiful. 91 Mustang LX, that's a special car, Steve. That's cool. Yeah, and that car actually came from Quebec, Mark. I saw the buyer's package for it. I think it was something like Golden Lake or Gold Lake. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'd have to see it again, but I thought that's what it was. Salty Stang, four bangers belongs in Hondas, not Mustangs. Yeah, prototype cars. But Mark just pulled a prototype engine out of Sweet Leaf. Yeah, I seen it. Only had four cylinders. Got to be rare. Couldn't have come in a Fox, right? Mr. Mach 1, Twister Orange. Yeah, cool color. Cool color. You say Twister Orange, it starts to make me think of the Competition Orange Cobras. Neat. Twister Orange, thank you. So, Mark, what's the future hold for that four banger? Scrap or did you sell her? 91 Mustang LX. It would look sinister on a Fox. Yeah. Yeah, Mark is getting the hookup, and a good buddy of ours really treating him right on a shit ton of parts. That's awesome. That's good. Scrap pile. Nobody wants it. Have you put it on Kijiji, Mark? I had a four banger like you did in this one car out here, and I guess there's some of them in boats. And this guy blew up his boat and was so happy to get that motor. And boating season's approaching quickly, so I don't know. Might be worth a shot. I imagine it runs pretty good, right? It was just the tranny that was an issue on that guy. So yeah, I didn't even want to sell it, but the guy needed it really bad for his boat. I like being able to drive the car around the yard and not have to push it. And that's the problem now. It's stuck where it is. Mark, you could build a badass lawnmower with. Yeah. Yeah, you do lawnmower races at the fair. She was a heavy smoker. 2 packs. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. So, I don't know. Mark, are you close to that track that's in Quebec everybody goes to? Can't think of the name of it. Napierville? There's a ton of guys here that travel to Napierville to go racing. They say that is the track. I would love to try it. I've been to most of the ones in Ontario, except for one, I believe, but they say this Napierville is your home track. Wow, that's awesome. How far are you from Napierville? 25 minutes. Oh my goodness. Wow. The nearest track I got's an hour and a half. 25 minutes, and they say that's the track. Boy, oh boy, I hear it really hooks. Hmm. Oh, that's cool, man. 45 if there's traffic. Well, that's better than me. The one track I go to is 3.5 hours away. If there's traffic, it's 5. Salty Stang, heavy smoker, perfect for a farmer. Keep all the mosquitoes and bugs off his crops. Yeah. Well, actually, we could use that up here in Canada in the summer quite a bit sometimes. All right. Well, I don't know. Whoa. 91 Mustang LX. Oh, yes, it does. Old school NHRA sanction tracked. Great poutines, too. Wow, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Well, there's another reason I can meet up with you, Mark. I just got to decide I'm going to that track. See, all kinds of reasons to head that way. Montreal, that's got that, what is it, a 3-level McDonald's? I saw it from the highway and I thought I heard something about it. Mark, sounds like a plan. Like, no, right on, buddy. Right on. No, that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, there's some big McDonald's there. I don't. Yeah, no, it's not as big as the one in Orlando, but it looked big. Orlando's got the world's largest McDonald's. Salty Stang, Altered, do you know or hang out in Paul DeFox channel and live streams? I do. I do. I go to Paul Def. I usually catch Paul DeFox's live streams. Not usually when there's a waffle though. I did join in during the last waffle. But yeah, I have. Sorry guys, snowmobile's going up the street again. Cool. I uh, I have been on Paul DeFox's live stream. I chat sometimes. Sometimes I'm kind of shy. I know I'm sitting here talking to you guys, but I'm a pretty shy guy in reality. Um, if we're outside here, though, we get talking. Sorry, if we're in public and we meet up, we get talking about Stangs. I'll talk your ear off. If I don't know you and we're not talking Stangs, I'm a pretty quiet dude. So yeah, 91 Mustang LX. I know Steve through Paul. Yeah, that's where I first saw Mark commenting on stuff. Vice versa, I guess. And Mark's always been really friendly. So I don't know Paul too well. I don't know who heard that, who did it. I know I brought it up earlier, but I've met up with him a couple of times at the Toronto Fox Body Club meet, which we're going to have to get Mark down for. That end of the year event they throw is way. All their events are wicked. The end of the year event they throw is wild. I mean, when you consider their first show, they got 300 foxes together, over 300 foxes together for the end of the year event in October here in the Great White North when it's cold. That's awesome. What a community. Like we say, we've got an awesome community, and that's amazing. Salty Stang. Yeah, on all of our lives, I don't have my cam on. Hell, no one wants to look at this much ugly. So I just use a pic of my dad's 69 F100 as my avatar. Can't be that bad. You can't be as bad as me on here. Oh my goodness. I hate even having my picture taken this, so I can't believe I'm even letting you guys see me. I hope I didn't break any of your screens. But 91 Mustang LX this year. I'm coming in October. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. I didn't make this last October one because we were getting ready for Foxtoberfest and the trip to Key West, and I wish I had gone, but there was no way. I was fighting with the car right up until the end. So Salty Stang. Oh, trust me, ha. They have seen me. There's a lot. Come on, man. Come on, don't beat yourself up. It's all good. All good. So, yeah, this has been amazing. Thank you guys for all coming out, talking away. I appreciate that. This is fantastic. So maybe I'll do some more spur of the moment live streams and see who pops up. Um, just an old retired truck driver. Nothing wrong with that. It's a honorable trade. My uncle did it for many years. It's a tough trade as well. I don't know how he survived it so many years. Being away from home, eating at diners, living in a truck. It's not easy. It's not easy. So thanks for everything you did, getting our goods to the stores and our food. And thank you. 91 Mustang LX, been a great stream. Steve, you did great, bud. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Well, if I guess we've been on a while. I'll let you guys get back to what you're doing. Thank you very much for coming, and I guess we'll wrap it up. Mr. Mach 1, great stream. Good to meet you. Altered Stangs. Thank you very much, Mr. Mach 1. Appreciate that. Gonna check out some of your stuff here. So I've got to get more involved with everybody. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to come check my stuff out and see what I'm all about. Salty staying, yes, it was great to meet you. You as well. Thank you. So thanks to everybody that took the time to chat and come in and check things out. I appreciate you. Mr. Mach 1, thanks, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. 91 Mustang Alex, good night, Steve, Mach 1, Salty, and everyone. Mike's Garage. Thanks so much, guys. All right. Well, that does it. Take care, my friends. Bye.